Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Gimmick Wrestlemania Night 1 review. I'm the architect, Tressnell, and I'm joined by... I just saw your name.
It works in two ways, really.
It does. Mr. Kissed by the Devil, S-Bubs. How you doing tonight on this Easter/WrestleMania weekend?
Good, I'm doing good.
Good. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about WrestleMania. David will be joining us in a little bit. He's just driving back from where he was watching it. But yeah, mostly WrestleMania 1. We're gonna go over the draft a little bit. We're gonna talk about Stand and Deliver. David Espub see the whole thing, and I've seen the back half of it. But we're gonna start there. But yeah, if you like what we do here, please subscribe. You do have the own feeds, which I will after put it in there for GeekVerse or on YouTube. I'll put the solo feed for the podcast where you can go listen to just the Gimmick, because now next month we'll be going bi-weekly, so every other week will be an episode. Right now you got 3 because we just did the predictions and the draft last week. So if you're still want to listen to our night 2 predictions, that's there. We got this, and then night 2 we'll be back again tomorrow, so subscribe if you want the specific stuff. GMO will return in May. We'll have the cutout episodes, so lots of good stuff going on here. But yeah, it's an exciting time. This is something we've been waiting for a while. Obviously we started this podcast last year for around WrestleMania time, and like we said, we've come here for now over a year. But yeah, here we are. Espos, how's the draft stuff looking? Do you need more time, or you want me to?
I think all I have to put in here is just some bonus points.
The bonus points, yeah. So while you're doing that, I will read off the list. For if people don't know, what we do is we have a draft, works like a sports fantasy draft, where we all drafted 10 superstars that we want to do well. We do have 11th slot for the jobber pick, so people that lose. So I'll go over Espos picks. Espos has John Cena, Gunther, Penta, Io Sky, Naomi, Bailey. We'll talk about that. I'm sure you're not happy about that potential stuff going on there. Jimmy Uso, Phoenix. Fuck, hey, that's a steal pick. Phoenix right there. Went from like, we'll talk about the actual match, but I'm always like, why do like that happened with Tiffany? There's so many people that sometimes lately in the Triple H era, they debut a few weeks before WrestleMania. It's like, oh, that's weird stuff. Look at Phoenix, man. A couple months ago, stuck in Guantanamo Bay, and then gets released just on SmackDown. Be like, okay, he's going to be on there getting ready for WrestleMania, and then gets a one-on-one match. Obviously not under the circumstances you want, but what a crazy story. What a sleeper pick for you, because that's like, you're going to get points anyways, but still.
There's a few on these picks that are like, that are not that good, I'd say, or kind of weird ones, but I feel like I got like some underrated ones, I think.
Well, and Rusev is another good sleeper pick you might have, because this Randy Orton Open Challenge, which happens tomorrow, and then to round out, you got Roxanne Perez. Espos' jobber pick is solo, so jobbers mean if you lose, that gets you points, and then the rest of the points are all based on title wins, main events, stuff like that, stipulation matches, and on pay-per-views they're double. WrestleMania, we have some cash and stuff, similar to Money in the Bank, which we'll talk about in Royal Rumble. My picks, Rhea Ripley, Seth Rollins, my boy now, Braun Breaker, Charlotte Flair, Jey Uso, Randy Orton, Liv Morgan, Jacob Fatu, Aleister Black, and Lyra Valkyria. My jobber is Austin Theory. And then David's pick, the bastard took Cody Rhodes for me again. Cody Rhodes, Bianca Belair, CM Punk, Chelsea Knight, LA Knight, Drew
Chelsea
McIntyre.
Knight.
Oh,
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green and LA Knight. That's actually a badass name. Chelsea Knight, Chelsea Green, and LA Knight. Drew McIntyre, Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, Finn Balor, Montez Ford, and his jobber is Carmelo Hayes, which I can't wait to talk
Lucky
about.
didn't start counting yesterday. I would have dropped like, that's a minus 20 right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are you feeling, David? David Hughes join us, the number 1 Paul Heyman guy. 1, how are you doing? And 2, how do you feel about your jobber Carmelo Hayes winning the prestigious Andre the Giant Battle Royal? You picked him as a jobber, but maybe this is the start of the new push.
Yeah, I'm excited for number 1. Sorry, I'm late. I literally booked it 30 some odd minutes down the highway to make it here on time. But as far as Carmelo Hayes, yeah, I'm excited for him to join such great people as Mojo Rawley and Madcap Moss, previous winners of the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. So I kind of still think that Carmelo's in good hands.
For you being a job, like that good job. I don't want you to say that. I don't like that. So I feel like, okay, so let me just go down those winners quickly. I'm gonna have like a loser bracket and a winner bracket.
I saw the full list, I think, yesterday, but definitely go through it.
Yeah. So Cesaro at the time was a win, because that was the start of the big like. Espubs, have you ever watched WrestleMania 30?
Not the full like full show. I've seen like parts of it.
Legitimately, I was there live and on the ground with people. Cesaro was one of the most over people in the world, and all of us were hoping he'd be in the Battle Royal. But I'd say Cesaro's a win. Big Show's like a win because like it's a legendary
Big
picture.
Show's like he had to win it. Like,
yeah, Baron Corbin I still put there because that was the start of his push. That was from like getting NXT there, so that works. But then you got Mojo, Matt Hardy. I don't know if that's a winner.
That was
or
like
He's
Bray helped him
broken
win.
Matt Hardy. Yeah. I'll put him in the loss because it didn't really do much. Braun Strowman's always a loss. Like the runner-up was Colin Jost from SNL. You fucking kidding me? That's a loss. Jay Uso, I'll put it as a win, but that was just like we just need to give it to somebody. Give it to Jay. Madcap Moss loss. Bobby Lashley, I'm putting in the loss category because
has to be a win for a legendary WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, like just doing the whatever. So we're at 5 and 4.
Came out to stand.
Bronson Reed, I put as a win because he did get pushed last year.
Yeah.
And then Hayes is a TBD. So right now we have it, to me, is 6 wins and 4 losses for actually meaning some. So hopefully Hayes is in the 6 category, but we're not going to talk about that too much. Check out any other podcast to review the Battle Royal. We're here to talk about WrestleMania 41. So night 1. S Bubs, what did you think of the show overall? 5-match card, no big surprises, no other kind of segments or anything like that. So what do you think from start to finish of the night?
I'd say overall I enjoyed it. I think there's definitely some, I don't know if I'd say like letdowns because I don't know if there's any match I would give like a fail to, but I think there are a few matches that sort of like disappointed or like underwhelmed. But at the same time, there's some matches that I saw other people not liking as much and I thought were really great. And then obviously there were some ones there that just absolutely delivered or even over delivered.
Yeah. David?
I thought it was bookend by 2 very good matches, and then there was an up and down with some of the matches there, but overall I'd give it, it was a solid night 1 of WrestleMania. There was nothing too out of the ordinary. I mean, I'm happy. If you were following me on X, formerly known as Twitter, I went 7-0 on my WrestleMania picks.
Undertaker over here. Yeah.
I am out here undefeated for night 1, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, for the most part, things kind of went the way that I expected.
Yeah, for me, I think it's a very rocky show. It's funny when we did the predictions and we kind of talked about like night 1, night 2, and I said, oh, the reason I'm more excited for night 1 is night 2 to me looks like a 2-match type of card. And that's what this ended up being. I'd say 3 because we'll get to it, but 1 match in the mid card completely over delivered. If you listen to predictions, I thought I wrote it off. I was like, oh, I think it'll be fine.
I think I was the one saying it was going to be really good.
Oh yeah, no, and I'll completely admit when I'm wrong. Like no, and we'll get there. Of like, oh, that really worked. Main event delivered big time. I don't think any of us were shocked, but to me, like Esweb said, I think it over delivered. We'll get there because David did talk about some stuff, but you never know. Like that's the tough thing when you have fun prediction and fantasy booking and stuff. Sorry, Triple H, I can't sit and be like, I just enjoyed the show. I'm not critical. No, like that's the thing though. It's like, oh, that sounds like a great idea, but let's see. Some of those great ideas were delivered, and then so yeah, I think the first 3 matches, it was a very rocky start. I will say it's probably the weakest WrestleMania, like because it's tough. It's so.
I'd say like everything that happened makes sense and works like on paper.
Yeah.
Like if you just showed me the decisions of every single match, I could understand like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, everything made sense. I think there's just some stuff in between the matches that it just didn't completely gel, or like even stuff we even talked about in predictions, like New Days and Viking Raiders. Like a stip would have been nice. And I agree with S-Bubs that I don't think anything was a fail. I wouldn't do that. It's just that.
There was no John Cena versus Austin Theory on this.
No Jay and Jimmy, right? There's none of that. It's just that I think there's stuff that under-delivered, or I agree with some people where it just lacked a WrestleMania feel. I felt like the stretch of...
Yeah, it was kind of like what people say WrestleMania 15, where it's like, it's just like Raw, but like in the stadium.
Yeah. And that's why I'd say this is like a half. It's a 50%, and I wouldn't fail it, but I'd say when they've started doing the night 1, night 2s, I think that's probably the weakest one they've done since the COVID era, which is pretty good because COVID was a fucking whatever show. Like I can't blame them for that, right? But
so many things had to be changed with that. So I mean, we understood.
Yeah. So I think even that, I'd say the WrestleMania after, because like you had Sasha Bianca, but I remember those nights were a little wonky. Ever since then, I think WrestleMania's always said like just pretty much a very good to great night. I think this had great matches and moment. I don't know if I can say the whole night one was great. I had a good time with it, but I think it was like a good Mania. But I do agree that the stage we didn't talk about that looked phenomenal, but there was like a little. Just a little lack of some big WrestleMania stuff, even to the points. I know it sounds annoying, but when you have LA Knight and Charlotte Flair just both doing car entrances, it's like no one thought about this. Like, can we do something else? And it's like, oh, we have nothing else. Like, then just give Charlotte like the Cody Rhodes pyro. It was weird. I also say as a guy, like, I don't love cars, so a driver just driving up and just being like the window going down, like. Yeah, it's like that does nothing for me. Like it doesn't do anything.
Rolling down the window in a convertible for just the look of it.
It's not your car. We know it. Like I'd rather have just last year they had LA Knight do the Slim Jim thing, right? I think when he drove up. No, or was that
he gave away the car to some. Oh, it was. I think. Did he ever? I don't think he ever did an entrance with the car, like at a PLE.
Oh, he showed up in the parking lot with it once, right? I think that's what it was.
Yeah, he did that one time. Yeah, at SummerSlam, he destroyed Logan Paul's car, his prime car.
And that's the thing where I'm not a car guy, but even look at WrestleMania, Cena's WrestleMania 23 entrance. He's like driving through the streets of Chicago. It's all like Fast and Furious, and then the car breaks through glass and pulls up. That's when I'm like, oh, that's cool. Versus a car just drives with the ramp. It's like cool. I go to a car show on a Saturday and see that.
I feel like we're getting another one tomorrow. I feel like Dom's gonna do the lowrider entrance
because they're like, oh, look at these ramps, we can do whatever. But yeah, so I do think, and it's funny because I feel since the night one, night two thing started, almost all those WrestleManias, everyone's been like, oh, night one's the better night. I think night two is I wouldn't say easy, but has a good chance of actually overperforming this. And I do think there's going to be a bit of I know Triple H is going to do the press conference like, one of the best nights ever. My Hall of Fame was great, and now WrestleMania is even better. It's like, no, like I think there's going to be a general sense of, okay, we can feel there was, and you could tell that crowd was not really into the show for the first three matches. I know people are like, oh, they're tired with the Yeet. And even that, like, I think because the finish of that match, people were a little caught off guard. So, yeah, it was a weird night, but I'm excited for night two still. And I think they ended very strong. And that's the biggest thing, right? That's what you want to do. Even if all the matches end up being shit, at least if the main event delivered, that's what people are going to talk about. And they did do.
It's like like we were saying for the Mox and Swerve thing. Like, even if a show is great, if you have like a bad, like people remember the last thing. That's why people always talk about this was the final shot of a movie or WrestleMania. Like people remember that image because that's like what you're gonna talk about.
Yeah, and I agree with what was it? Not Dynasty. What was before Dynasty in AEW? Revolution, yeah.
And
I agree with people that
was a Swerve standing over Mox, so people are like, okay, even though people didn't like the main event, they're like, we're hopeful for the future here.
And even that show, everyone said this, and I completely agree. Cope and Mox, not good. But if you were to flip that and put Tony and May in the main event, even if like people are like, okay, Mox and Cope, that really bummed, but then we're on the next thing. So that's where it's like, that's all that matters is the placement, right? And now, and I guess we can talk about it, in retrospect, that's why I still wish there's maybe a world title involved. The way, to me, how Jay and Gunther went, you couldn't have put last. I guess I'm still in the camp that I
don't think it was ever at any point considered a good
of course not, right? But that's why, like, on this night, I don't think anything could have, even Tiffany and Charlotte, who I think delivered.
There were some points in Tiffany. I mean, I guess just getting ahead of it, I think I like the Tiffany and Charlotte match a lot more than a lot of people online.
I think I'm with you.
Didn't like it. Like there were moments in that match where I was like, this could be the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah, we can start there. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far with it being the main event, but I did like that match. It was out of the 7 matches, it was in the top 3 of the matches on there. There's no way that the way that Jay and Gunther ended, even with the crowd's all behind Jay, everyone's doing the yeet, that could not have been the closer, especially the actual ending of the match. There is no way that you could have sent the crowd home happy with that. So at least with this, you had a banger match. You sent the crowd home happy. And that's one of the things about wrestling is at the end of the day, are you sending the crowd home happy with memories? I did feel like this WrestleMania was lacking big spot moments. There was
Like for highlight
Not-
reel stuff, like well, what are you gonna get? Like I feel like
yeah,
you get
what's that memorable thing that's going to send you back saying, oh, remember when this happened? Outside of the ending of the triple threat, there wasn't anything that was really like,
Yeah.
oh man, remember this?
And that's why it's almost like, not that I wanted multi-match Mania, because a lot of people have complained about that, but I almost, and I'm not also going to get in the camp of like, Jay shouldn't have won the Rumble yet, but I think the problem, the way how it almost on the night of, it just felt like everyone knew. Like it felt like there was no drama. They tried in the match, so I almost wonder if it would have been better to somehow do a triple threat and not make it so obvious Jay is winning. Think, oh, he's just there for the entrance, because it's kind of like, remember that Raw where Jay won the IC title and it was a shock because we didn't think that was happening. Where this, it felt like everyone was like, okay. Like, especially for the people that hated it, we're just like, let Jay win and move on, which was a lot of my timeline of like, okay, moving on. I don't even want to talk about that match. And I thought, actually, we'll go back to it. We'll keep with Tiffany and Charlotte because we started there. But I think with S-Bubs, I liked it more than other people. To me, like, other than one, Charlotte has a great track record. Like the multi-women matches, the match with Asuka, the 2 with Rhea, and now this. I don't think this is as good as the 2 Rhea matches, but to me, this is like a solid. I'm fine with actually giving it a 4. I think they really gelled. I love that because David, you mentioned this in the Jade Naomi one. Right when the bell rang for this match, they started fighting and tossing to the ground. That
was what I wanted for this match. Like
Yes.
this was
Yeah.
exactly what I wanted this match to be, and I
You
felt
have
like
to
some
treat it
of
like
the
a blood feud.
yeah.
And I think that's what maybe some people were like, like, oh, I need the technical wrestling. It's like, but you can't do that once you went this route, you know? It's like you have to do the brawl. And I thought they had really good chemistry. I think the ending was a little, that's where they lost me. It was just a couple weird spots or moments that they just didn't completely click. I don't know why, but I said this in the Discord. Charlotte did completely sandbag Tiffany in that thing. And I don't know, because Charlotte for like the 10 seconds before was holding her head. And I don't know if she just like really got a ringer on the buckle and was just like out of it. But or it was, she was just giving her a fuck you, because she did not help her at all with the pickup, with the drop, nothing. So I'm not going to say either way, because she easily could have, been wonky and like, you don't know where you are. Right. And then we also found out that, and you saw after the match that I don't know what happened. I think she probably hit it on the knee bracelet or whatever, because Tiffy lost her left front tooth, and that was
she
bad.
reached for her mouth after the knee brace spot, so I'm guessing that's where it happened, and her mouth looked freshly busted open. But I will say, for the energy and for the feud that this went into, that moment afterwards of Tiffany holding the belt open, having the knot on her forehead, having the busted tooth again, it just all played into this is a fight, not a wrestling match, which again, this is what Naomi and Jade should have been, a fight, not a wrestling match. You threw her off a thing into a car, all this up, like the beat down inside the elimination chamber. This should have been visceral. Tiffany and Charlotte delivered that more, but yeah, there were moments towards the end where I felt like Charlotte basically said, okay, I gave you enough. Now you got to earn this ending. If you're going over, you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to put in the work. There were moments where I could see Tiffany going to pick her up, and she was getting absolutely no help from Charlotte.
There was one time she just hit her really hard, and I was like, uh-oh. And again, who knows?
I mean, that was like, I feel like that's exactly what I wanted. Like those moments where like, oh, they're hitting each other for real.
And that's why, who knows? Because they could be completely playing off that, right? And Charlotte is good.
To me, this was like, I was seeing this as like, to me, this match is like, and it's a match I think is good, but a lot of people love it a lot more than me. To me, this was like my Gunther versus Sami Zayn from last year.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's fair, yeah.
Like, that's what I'd compare this to, where it's just like, they're just getting like beat up on, just like hard, and you're just like praying and wishing that this person wins it.
The match where a bunch of the internet thought Sammy fucked up his superplex spot, and it's like, oh man, that's not how that's how it's supposed to go. But and I guess we didn't even say that Charlotte did take the loss. I was surprised. I was surprised by a few things. Not the main event once I saw how it went down, not at all. But this, I think was,
for the story, I was confident that Tiffany had to win.
Yes, for the story, but as we've heard from multiple people, that there's been a very political season in WWE. So I was like, that's the thing where it's like, yeah, story-wise, this makes sense. But it's like, is this going to happen? And yeah, she got the win there. And I kind of hope they don't run this one back. Like, I don't think there's any. I think it's something where have them on SmackDown, whatever, but then in the draft, separate them. Get Charlotte to Raw or vice versa. I think this is like a good one and done because you're in two ways of like. If Charlotte, let's say they do a rematch and Charlotte wins, I'd rather Charlotte won at WrestleMania to do a big moment. And then if Charlotte just loses again, it's like, okay, you can't take her stock down that much. So that's why I feel like completely separate them, go a different route. Fuck, have Charlotte go squash Chelsea and just run rampant with the U.S. title. You know, like I think you can return to this at another point and Charlotte can get her win back, but I don't want like a immediate backlash win. I could maybe take a triple threat if they do those two and add someone. I could maybe take that, but I don't want a 1-on-1 right away. Like leave it where it is, and I'm happy. It could have been like a bit better because obviously I didn't give it like 5 out of 5, but like I'm happy with like a 4-star match. I think Charlotte, I don't know. I guess I haven't looked too much on the time. I'm sure some people are critical. To me, she like showed that she still has what she can with the like with her quality, and Tiffany's still great as well too. So they had some good sequences. So
yeah, the match went longer than I expected, but it wasn't a bad match, with the exception of a few moments where Charlotte looked like she sandbagged her. Overall, the match was very good between them two. They had a lot of great chemistry with a lot of their moments. I'm not a fan of Charlotte wearing the pink. It kept distracting me the entire time. I get the psychological
it was the same
aspect of it.
Entrance. It was weird.
The whole feud, they've in every segment they wear the same colors and stuff.
Yeah, but
like in every
Charlotte has traditionally done a solid color with some gold accents, just like her dad, and now to switch it up and be in this pink and baby blue, it was weird. It was distracting, and at times when they'd mix it up and you just got pink on pink with all this blonde hair going everywhere,
at the very start of the match, I saw like, oh, Tiffany's wearing like a knee brace, I guess, to make fun of Charlotte. And it's like, oh no, that's Charlotte.
Now,
oh yeah.
I will say I did think that Tiffany's gear paid homage to the old Divas Championship, and I liked it. So, but other than that, it was just, the wardrobe aspect of it. And I know this sounds weird just coming from a guy saying this. It felt off to me. I wish Charlotte would have stuck with her more traditional gear.
Unless Tiffany has fake teeth. She's doing the presser right now, and she has no chipped tooth whatsoever. That's super weird. So unless she got some fake teeth or something,
it might have been just like, maybe it was like dried blood, because there was at some point where there was blood coming down, like it was like Stone Cold at WrestleMania 13. Like I saw the blood on her teeth, so I don't know if it was just like.
Or I wonder if she got any of the paint from. She got any paint off of the knee brace too. That could be because like Charlotte's knee brace was bedazzled and everything because it looked.
Well, speaking of the knee brace, that was some of my favorite stuff, like when she was dropping the leg and how she got out of the figure 4 just punching the knee brace. I think I love stuff like that.
Well, and I was wondering, and this is what I really enjoyed too, was the match it started to be a fight, and then Charlotte started to take control, and then Tiffy went for the knee, and I thought that was a great, like, even though it's kind of more of a heel move, that makes sense of, okay, the veteran has the upper hand, so what you're going to go after the knee. But what I loved the way, I can't remember how they did it, but Charlotte did either some flip or Tiffany threw her in the ring, and Charlotte hit on her leg and grabbed her knee right away and like pushed Tiffany away and said like, wait. Not in like a fighting way. It was like literally like trying to get space. So they made it look like she would shoot her for like 5 seconds and then win the match. But that was such a good touch of like, it wasn't like hits like, oh my God. And like, can I go on? It was like literally like oh, my knee kind of buckled.
They didn't like zoom in on it or anything. It was
I thought that was great. Like really done by Charlotte. And that's also great like heel tactic of like, hey, I had the match until my knee kind of gave out. Like you can kind of, as a babyface or a heel, use as example. And then I did like that Charlotte, I actually would have liked this more because Charlotte started to work on Tiffany's leg, but then they kind of dropped that at the end of the match. I thought that was going to happen, and I don't think it happens too much, but I thought, oh, we're going to get like a one-legged woman match at the end of this. Like they're both hurt, but
I thought it was going to be like her Tiffany's leg was gonna give out on the moonsault.
Yeah, like something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, they did the figure 4 spot, and after that, it wasn't really a big factor, I guess.
Yeah, so I would have liked them tied back to that, but no, overall, really good. I liked, like I said, Charlotte's Flair's entrance very disappointing, but that's same as LA Knight's. Just like, okay, it's a car, nothing else.
The Tiffany thing, I was actually happy that she did the whole Barbie thing, because that was a rumor, like that it was like they kind of changed the way to just like generic pink and stuff. Because before in NXT, her Titantron was like the full Barbie font. and
Yeah, I
people are like,
remember,
maybe
yeah.
there's some issue with Mattel, like you can't just
Don't
like
do
straight up
this.
do the Barbie thing. But
Yeah.
then they mentioned the entrance, like it's like an official, like Mattel designed this Tiffany like dream house for her entrance.
Yeah,
And you
So,
can do
she
that when
had an
you're at
incredible
WrestleMania.
entrance.
yeah.
Yeah,
Incredible
and
entrance.
it was great. It was two boxes. There was one of her like in gold dress, looking all like beautiful and stuff. Then one where she's a boxer, and they're like digital frames where she's moving, and there's Tiffany in the box. Like really, really cool. That's like a WrestleMania moment entrance right there, and that was really well done. And I don't think there's anything. Okay,
That's
no, that's
pretty
all the
much,
notes I had.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I have to say. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
liked it, and that'll be one I defend. As people, if people don't like it, I'll be a defender of that match.
Yeah, and that's tough too, because always like some of the four horsewomen, there's just people that hate them. So sure, it's always like a natural like, oh, I
I
just
was
don't
seeing
like
a
this
lot of
blank, but-
Charlotte fans saying, "Oh, Tiffany was sandbagging her. That she's making Charlotte look bad in this match."
I think if anything was looked bad, it was intentional till maybe the end. But
Yeah.
David, anything on this one?
No, like I said, it's in my top 3 of the night. I think right now I would situate it as third from the top out of the 7. So, it's a pretty good match. Definitely better than the other women's match on this, in my opinion. And I think that it hit a lot of the beats that it needed to for where this match ended up going. For the one that wasn't set out to be the blood feud, but became it just because of
Yes.
natural things, this
Yeah.
ended up being what this match needed to be.
Yeah, I agree. We're gonna talk about Jay and Gunther next because I haven't watched this clip, but I'm gonna pull it out because I don't think it's 100% real, but I see a lot of people like saying Jimmy's or Jay's having a very Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso after the press conference title win. Some
He
people said
had
he's
one
drinking.
last night before the Hall of Fame.
Some people are saying he's been drinking.
I mean, are you asking just me, Oos? Yeet. Hell yeah, I love it. Fire. Internet, I don't know what it is. Soak it in, cuz this is it right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but hell yeah. 2-time world shocker, Oos. I'm damn near world heavyweight champ.
What is a two-time world shocker? Oh, I get it because he won the
Because he
Rumble.
won the,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, we got Jay and Gunther.
Stop letting him go on early because you're giving him too much time to drink between his match and the press conference.
Yeah, he's celebrating, but yeah, we got the opener, like we said, it was Jay and Gunther. Yeah, for me, this was Jay got some entrance with cheerleaders and flags. That was all cool. Had a long walk because he came down through the crowd. But
Do you
Oh
know
my
the
God,
story
that was a
about
long walk.
Do you know the story about this DJ and the
I do
fighting
not,
game he's
no.
in? So the thing is, like, this fighting game, I forget what's it called.
Fatal Fury.
Yeah, Fatal Fury. So this new game, it just has some like random guest characters, like Cristiano Ronaldo is a guest character, and then there's this DJ guy who they announced him, and people are like, who is this guy? And apparently he's just like I forget where he's from, like Sweden or something. He's a DJ, and he's like not even that famous. I think someone pulled up his Spotify, and he didn't even have like 1 million listeners, and he's like a full-fledged guest character in this game. Like, not even like a DLC, like he's base roster. They just put this DJ guy in the game, and now I guess he's doing promotion for it. But yeah, all the fans of this fighting game are like, why is this guy in here? Like, it's not he's not even like a controversial figure, like anything bad as far
Just
as
a
I know.
random
It's just
dude.
like, yeah, it's like they just put this DJ guy in the game, I guess.
he was there,
So,
and then also that
yeah,
had like the
he's-
main for WrestleMania on the mat. That was the biggest logo.
Yeah,
was the
well, I'm
Fatal
pretty
Fury
sure. I'm
one,
pretty
you know?
sure the company that like, I think like the Saudis bought like whatever studio
course,
makes
yeah.
make that game. So
I
I guess
know.
maybe that's why Ronaldo's in there too. But maybe some prince that's his favorite artist. So he's just like, yep, put him in the game.
My girls were like, "You should get that game." I'm like, I'm not getting that game. So that's not happening. But yeah, we had Jay and Gunther. For me, like I said, this was a weird one where I thought they're even like I can't recall. Actually, no, I can recall. I feel like their Intercontinental match was better because they said that he was 3-0.
I'd say all their other matches were better.
I don't remember the first one. That's why I can't say that. But so like the Intercontinental, I remember, and then Saturday Night's main event, I remember. And yeah, they were all
The Intercontinental one was the first one.
Okay.
The second one was King of the Ring tournament.
right. Okay, I think I
And
missed that
then
one, so I don't think
that
I've ever
one's
seen
like okay, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
like it's in the middle because yeah, and then the Saturday Night's main event one, yeah.
So this one was weird where they wrestled like a traditional just like Raw match for like 2 to 3 minutes, and then they went into their finishes like I won't say right away, but it felt like that where it just like, okay, we're trying to get this out of the way so the crowd will be excited what's going to happen. And then they had these moments and I think it picked up a little bit in the middle. So like I was not happy with the end and not happy with the beginning, but the middle they were, vibing, going good. And then they did a spot where I liked Jay countered and did the powerbomb like that. And then I think my problem is with this is why they didn't get like the big pop was they did the classic, okay, you're versing a monster, you're going to have to hit a super finisher, you're going to have to do something special, and that's what Jay did. He hit 3 splashes, so that, okay, that's how you beat Gunther. He takes 3 to 4 splashes, he's so knocked out he can't. But then they have fucking Jay put in Gunther's own move, and you would think that's even bad enough to lose to if he'd pass out. No, he puts in his own move and he taps, and then like the cherry on top, he taps like 10, 15 seconds. It was quick. It was like Brock Lesnar had that fucking thing on Gunther. Like, I don't know what was going on. Like, this feels like this is not going to be the case. Gunther's not getting suspended tomorrow. But David will remember back in after like Eddie and Benoit when they had the suspension steroid stuff, when weird stuff would happen, like, oh, why did Mr. Kennedy just get written off? And then like the day after, it'd be like, oh, 30-day suspension, the policy. That's what this felt like. Gunther fucked up, and they're like, we're going to write him off, and he's going to be gone for a couple months. Like, it was...
This is RVD dropping the world title.
Yes, randomly, right? It was very odd, and I think that's kind of hurt the pop, because with a tap out, it's like, it wasn't even built up like, oh, could he tap? It was just like, I think no one took it as this is the finish. Just, oh, Jay's doing his hold. This is going to lead to the next like situation. And it was just over. And it was very odd. And I think that's what kind of, it didn't kill the popular Yin, but I think it could have been what I was expecting to be that huge WrestleMania Jey Uso moment winning. It wasn't. I think they kind of missed out. So I don't know who the producer was on this match, but I think the two guys and the layout of it, it didn't deliver. And I was somebody on the predictions. I actually thought they were going to over deliver. I thought, you know what, as a Jay defender, I think they're going to have a really good Mania match. Even Gunther said, hey, like I'm not versing a big guy, but I think 2, stars of trying to prove themselves. So I thought, oh, we're going to get, to me, at least a 4-star. This is like, I think it's like a 3.25. Yeah. Like it was fine, but to me, very underwhelming. And I don't think it had the chutzpah to start the night off like we thought, other than, okay, you got everyone yeeting. Cool.
I would definitely call it a 3-star match because, again, that ending just fell short. And I saw somebody tweet out that traditionally, good guys pass out, bad guys tap. But in this instance, I don't think that the heel should have tapped. It did not fit the character.
Move as well, too.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. There was nothing about it's not even like previously Jay had said, I'm going to make you submit with your own move or anything else like that. There was no build up to this. You had all the frog splashes like end on that. The one where he did it when he was lying face down, if he had pinned him after that, I would have considered that more of something. You just hit 4 frog splashes, including 1 to his back. Boom. That's what it took. You had to go like Roman with the 6 Superman punches or whatnot. Like you had to go just that far.
He could have done all four frogs like Uso splashes. The 4 post massacre.
I thought he was gonna do. I thought that's what he was doing. Yeah, and then finish it off.
But to finish it off with the sleeper and then to tap that way, I was just like, it just did not make sense. So I don't know. Maybe it was actually Gunther in Charlotte's DMs, not Kaiser. Maybe she got her Austrians wrong. I'm not sure. It seemed like, when RVD won the title and he technically was a double champ, and a week later he's just dropping everything because he's getting suspended. That's what it felt like. It felt like this is a RVD, Jeff Hardy, Mr. Kennedy Edge situation back when they had the big steroid pop.
Tomorrow we get the fight for report. Gunther requested his release.
Walter to AEW.
He told them this was his last match. He's not re-signing after just the Mariah May thing.
All in Cope versus Walter Intercontinental whatever championship. Yeah, no, I don't know if it's like I could see it being some weird Triple H whatever business thing where they're like, we want to make him. We want to get him real low to see what he'll do after the fact, like have him have this loss. If it's something like, because he did publicly say that he didn't want to verse Jay, like that wasn't a storyline. He said he kind of wished that there was someone else. So I wasn't sure if they're like, yeah, well, you know what? Maybe you should have said that. We're gonna teach you, and you're gonna have Jay just kind of dog walk in. Yeah, so it was weird. And again, it's it's tough because I'm somebody that I do defend Jay to a point because his popularity, would people want him just to fucking be like the Kern jerk or the Andre Bennett. It's like, you can't do that. This guy's one of the most over guys. He has to be a main role. But I will say this is 2 years in a row now. I was excited for his match and I was let down. Not as much as last year, but I did not think Jimmy and Jay would do what they did last year, and they did. And I thought Gunther and Jay would overperform here, and they didn't. They put in maybe their worst match they've had yet. So it's like, I know we're going to get to it, of S-Bob's pitch in the Discord. I've said this before, that I would be completely fine, whoever it is, of Jay losing that thing on Monday in like a shock moment. And then you can fire him up as a babyface again. But I'd be completely fine if something happens. But S-Bob's, where were you on this matchup?
I was gonna say I was just laughing now because after I said the four post massacre thing, I just googled it, and one of the first search results is a Reddit question that says, "Has the four post massacre ever been performed outside the confines of Ready to Rumble in any major / notable promotion?" And the only reply is, "No, it's dangerously illegal and could end careers. It wasn't even a pay-per-view."
Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to have Gunther. That's how he get the title back. He's going to do the splashes from the top. But yeah, what do you think about this, S-Bubs?
I pretty much agree with everything David said. For me, yeah, it ended up being like a 3 or something like that. Like, it was, like you said, everyone knew it was happening. So I feel like even though people wanted it to happen, it kind of took away that suspense, because it wasn't like you kind of just were waiting for it to happen.
Yes.
It's like, at some point he's gonna win, I guess, and the surprise was like, even you kind of wanted it to go longer, or be, I guess just no one was expecting him to win with the sleeper hold or whatever.
Yeah.
Which was just, it was just a weird ending. I don't know.
And even then, like, the way this match was laid out, I would have loved, like, I saw some people book it at first, like, I don't know, do the Bloodline mini rules thing and have Ludwig come out and then Jimmy. You know, like, at that point, that I think would have, like, woke up the crowd a couple times and maybe put some suspense or something. But
another thing, too, it's like Gunther doing, like, a belt shot, which is just something he never does. Like, that's his whole thing. He never cheats in any matches.
And it's a
he did it, like, off the rip. Like 3 minutes into the match, he, like, threw the referee out of the way and did a belt shot.
Well, and that's the other thing with the match. It felt like, and I don't know if this is for sure because it's the first match, but it feels like a match if you were to say, hey, it's time got cut, you'd be like, oh, that makes sense. Because it just felt like, like you said, the belt shot very early in the finish.
Charlotte walked up to Gunther in the back and said, I'm going 30 minutes.
I'm getting 25 fucking minutes.
You're getting your minutes cut, yeah.
Yeah, it's happening. But yeah, it's on. Yeah, with like, he hit Jay with they fucking know what they did with Jay. They superseded him, actually. They made him take the belt shot. He took Gunther's finishers. He choked him out. Like, like he did, at least with Umaga.
People are gonna get the half-face Gunther, half-face Wade Barrett photos.
Oh god, yeah. So yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting the next few weeks to see what happens with Jay. I think he'll still be popular, but it's gonna be interesting because that's never, even tonight. I was like, okay, if there's gonna be any time hardcore wrestling fan, I'm not gonna say they completely turn. I think Jay, you heard like a smattering of booze, but nothing to the amount that I was like, because I thought, okay, maybe people are going to really love Gunther here, but that wasn't the case. I think people are still on the Jay high. Let's talk in 6 months now, because I think if you put out multiple matches like this in the future, like, I really think they're going to do Jay and Gunther at Backlash, and I think it's a really bad idea. I don't think they should do that there, but I could just see that Gunther, like, I want my rematch, and yeah, I don't know, maybe there's a stip, but yeah, we got that, and then we went on to New Day versus the Viking Raiders. Nothing bad about this match, but I agree with people that it's like,
this is a Raw main event.
Yes, it was a Raw main event because they went a little extra with some of the
good.
jumps.
They did some cool stuff, but it was like, it just kind of happened.
I know this is a time thing, probably because I would say this WrestleMania ended like almost exactly 4 hours, so that's like a rare.
A lot of the matches weren't that long. A lot of them were like 10-ish minutes long.
Because again, Charlotte in the main event.
Charlotte's match went 19 minutes. The main event was 30, almost 33 minutes. And everything under that was pretty short. Jay and Gunther was 16 and a half.
Yeah, because I was gonna, if you count entrances, you had Seth doing his rock impression with the flamethrower.
7 minute video package.
Roman surprisingly did Roman have the shortest entrance of the three? Maybe
he was moving.
It was cool though with the bloodline, the falling stuff. I saw it could come down, and honestly, Punk. We're gonna talk about that later. Like, generational entrance.
But like
Yeah.
again, maybe it's a time thing, but I don't think like 4 hours. To me, 4 hours isn't too much. I think when you start to hit the 5 hour, that's when you get tired. But to me, it's like with WrestleMania, I've been conditioned. Like I'm fine with WrestleMania going 5 hours because like I know it's a big thing. I'm just saying my long term pitch. I agree with everyone else. Honestly, luckily it happened because poor Ciampa fucking had to shave his beard today because he split his chin
Oh,
open. Like,
man.
yeah, terrible. Like, and he showed the gash was bad, but this is a situation that, yeah, they should have had the TLC here and then New Day and Viking Raiders on the Raw after. Like, I get it. New Day had that hot promo, but even the crowd stopped caring because you know why? Like we said on the predictions, everyone's figured out that, oh, Big E's not coming back again anytime soon. That was the hope, right? It was maybe it's Rumble, maybe it's WrestleMania. Now it's like, oh, he's just going to get back whenever or maybe never, right? So I think people don't care as much. And yeah, sure, New Day hasn't won in a while, so I'm fine, but I would have swapped them. Put the TLC here, especially on this night. It could have used a TLC where after Jan Gunther, and then you had like, and to me, like we'll get to like El Grande, Ray Phoenix was like good enough, but and Jade and Bianca. If you would have had TLC here on this match or this card, I think it would have helped big time. I think the crowd would have really got woken and fire up, and especially you could have placed it better. But yeah, I thought this like what S-Bubs just said, a Raw main event, so better than like an average tag match, but wasn't. This is definitely in that lack of WrestleMania feel. This is one of those where I will not remember this in a couple weeks when the next gimmick I will not remember like, oh right, that's where they won the titles, you know?
Yeah, this was the weakest of the matches in my opinion. Of all the matches tonight, this was definitely, in my opinion, it was the weakest. And like you said, I wouldn't even call it a Raw main event. I would call this a leading into our 3 main event. Like this is this is the the long match that has the break in between, and you get the people who are coming over from like the NBA finals or something like that. Like this, to me, this was just, it was a tag team match. They came out, they did their things. War Raiders had their sponsorship moment, and
I'll
it
say
was
the
just
sponsorships worked on me because ever since they dropped this WWE update on Clash of Clans, I picked it up again for the first time in legitimately probably like, I don't know, 10 years or like 8 years. I've been grinding Clash of Clans like over the past month.
yeah. But other than that, like it was a tag team match, and that was it. All it served was just to switch the championships, and kudos to New Day for winning it. But there was nothing memorable about this. There was nothing that's going to make me look back and say, man, can you believe they did this? Or what about that spot from that tag team match? It is just very forgettable.
And even like you said in the Discord, like they could have given a bit more budget for their gear. Their gear looked very, very plastic.
They got that from Spirit Halloween.
At that point, if I saw the gear, I'd been like, we're not wearing that. Just go get the regular stuff. Like it just, it felt.
It's for the sponsorship.
Yeah, I get it. That they have to. It's just like, oh, like.
I like New Day's Giant Gonzalez gear though. I dug that.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah,
the fur and everything.
They're always on point with their gear. The New Day, they got good stuff. So. Hopefully, it's tough, right? Because I've always said this, it's very strange in the NXT black and gold era. Like, Triple H knew how to, like, the tag division was a huge part. Like, they main evented multiple takeovers. That was a huge thing. You could argue, like, obviously AOP's gone now, but AOP, DIY, FTR, Revival back then, and a few others. Like, obviously, you had Enzo and Cass. Like, they were main eventing shows. They had big stuff, match of the years, and there's just something. I don't know if he doesn't do them, if he's handing them off. There's just something about Triple H, the main roster tags, that's not delivered, because we thought, okay, Judgment Day, that's the holdup, right? But when they lost on Viking Raiders, I thought we were all kind of on board, like, okay, they could really spruce up the tag team division here again, and it didn't really. Like, they'd be on Raw here and there, but just they got really nothing of note until like this, and then they lose. So at least the New Day, I know WWE and Triple H, they care about the New Day. That's a historical act. So hopefully this will happen, but like something, at least a SmackDown. Okay, the SmackDown division also has some problems, like the DQ finish and the weird Rumble one, but at least there is like a theme and a story with those 3 teams. Raw, it's been very nothing. So I don't know. I'm hoping something happens here. Bring up some NXT people. I don't know, but anything else on? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's definitely gonna. I mean, Frack Team are coming to one of these shows soon.
Please, yes, get him on Raw right away and let them and New Day just do like a best of 5 series for a while and just rock with that or something.
Yeah,
that's what I want. Yeah. Because we had that, and the next up was Jay and Bianca. I suppose I'll let you start. What did you think about this one? Big blood feud, been building for a while. Jade's first singles match, first singles pay-per-view match. First ever women's single match with no title. So congrats to these two ladies for setting history. But yeah, what did you think about this one?
I enjoyed it. It was the expected winner, and I thought there was some cool stuff in there. Like that electric chair power bomb was like wild. Some good power spots in there, and I enjoyed it. Definitely, yeah. I kind of wish there was like a little more, but I still, like I said, there was no match on this show that I would like fail. So I'd say it was still probably like I don't know, like I try not to do like 0.5 ratings or like 0.25s, but I guess this would be like, I don't know, like a 3.5-ish or 3.25, I don't know, somewhere around there. I like the whole Naomi, I like this whole proceed with caution thing she's doing with the I like the entrance and all the colors and stuff, the caution tape. And yeah, I thought it was
heavy metal theme for Naomi, which is completely
cool.
different, you know?
Did not expect that.
No, which is great. Like you should do, because her heel, like the "let's go," like you can't have that with.
Yeah.
But she still had the glow shoes on.
She did, and accidentally, did you notice her ring Titantron was still the
Yeah,
Naomi
it was
glow? They
a
hadn't
little-
updated that. It's like, so yeah,
That's like
definitely.
what happens to me in 2K when I'm making my entrance. I can't find the right, so I just have different Titantrons.
Yeah. What about you, Dave? What do you think of this match?
This match, I mean, it was good. There were some flaws exposed with Jade for sure.
Yeah.
I was a little bit disappointed. Know it's stupid, but I was disappointed by her entrance. I felt like for the weather report, she should have come out full storm with the entrance. I don't know, like if this is one of those things
for me. The opening to it, the guy, like, I get what they're going for, but it didn't gel well with the entrance. So
yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it, then you have to go full stop, and they did not go full stop with this. So that being said, it was all right. I would probably put it as my second least favorite match of the night. It was a predictable ending, in my opinion. I felt like Jade had to go over. It did not have the urgency of what is supposed to be a just straight up, I want to kick your ass for what you did to me. And both of them were talking about how much they wanted to just get at each other and how much they were going to beat down each other and everything else. And then they go in and you're locking up for a traditional collar and elbow tie up. Like, that's not what I want to see out of this match. So it felt short in a lot of areas. Jade looked great on her power spots, but in her non-power spots, there were some weaknesses exposed. And just like I said on the last episode of the Gimmick, what they need to do with her is put one of the mid-card titles on her, either let it be the Intercontinental or the Women's US, and let her just go on a power run where she is just beating people with pure power. I do not need to see Jade in a wrestling match. Not right now. Give her a couple of months behind the scene.
That's on the harshest. I'm not saying you're wrong, but just like what a critique. Like, this woman's now like going in her 4th year wrestling, and I don't need to see her.
That's how I was feeling watching that solo Sikoa SummerSlam main event.
She needs to be Goldberg. She needs to be Goldberg, because 20 years later, Goldberg still couldn't handle the long, drawn-out wrestling matches. She just needs to be Goldberg, and that be okay.
And it's funny because that's what AEW did with her, right? But that was always the thing, like, well, they're training her, and then like when they cut to WWE, it's like, well, they're training her, and eventually she's going to get better. I think AEW did crack the code of that's what you can do there. To me, this was I think in like the way we talked about how with Charlotte and Rhea the first time on the predictions, David, you're like, oh, in retrospect, it was fine with Rhea losing that match, but she shouldn't have lost back then. I feel like we might feel like this way with Naomi and Jade, because I don't know in 3 years where Jade's going to be. And we might look and be like, man, they should just had Naomi win this. To me, after this match, I think I can give it a 3, but I that's being kind. I think I was lower on it than you guys. Just stuff like that electric chair powerbomb was cool, but the problem was she did that, and then she grabbed Naomi by the head and started talking to her, and you can tell Naomi like said go to the finish. Like it's the finish spot, and you're asking Naomi like, what we do next, and they win to the move. And I don't know if there's a screw up, but it's just like that stuff where it's just she is going on, and I could be even wrong, could be longer, but it's like she's going on her 4th year. I just don't know what more now. Like, I think this spot exposed her a lot, and I like even I think a mid card title now to me is like the cap unless you do really Goldberg her. But yeah, this type of these matches, you can't do them. She can't wrestle the way I think they had a little intensity when they went to the floor. I like Naomi like hitting multiple floor moves to take her out, but just even stuff like her selling. Like I remember when Naomi went to the top rope, and I know all wrestlers stand there, but Jade really just was like. She so many times just looks like she's waiting for the next spot. And I've seen Jade have some really, like, I'll say greatly paced or booked matches. But yeah, there's just something, I don't know.
If you don't want to have her, like, just doing tag team stuff, you can have her in triple threats and fours. Like, something like Obafemi, like, I'd say he's a great wrestler, but something they do, like, if you look at a lot of his big matches, almost all of them are triple threat. He's the king of triple threats. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, 90% of his title defenses have been, like, triple threats. And it's not that he's bad, but it's, like, having multiple people to work off of. Like, when your big thing is the power spots, like, you can split that time between other people. And I think you can do that with Jade. Like, she can do her spots, then get taken out. You can do power spots with two people. That's the classic one, and it always looks great. And she can do that stuff that shows she can do. And people like when she does the power spots, people like it. So it's like you just have to lean into that.
You know what they should do? The companies don't have enough title. They should create a triple threat championship for Jade just to give it to her. I've always tinkered with that. I wish there was like a way. I kind of do that in my
put her
gym
in the speed title division.
Exactly.
That'd be good.
Yeah. But no, for me, this one, I was disappointed. And I know you guys all said the expected winner. I thought that too, but still my predictions, I went with Naomi because I thought, there's going to be a chance of a sneak win. And like I said, we'll see. But I think in retrospect, Naomi should have won the match. I think Naomi, she had to carry this match tonight. She did a lot of work for Jaden. All I'm hoping for now is I hope that Triple H and the team have plans for Naomi, because if she won, I'd go, okay, for sure she's going to go to a title or whatever. She better not just kind of drop off and go away, because she's been doing great character work. And this feud was people talk about the weaker build to Mania. This was one that wasn't a weak build. And I don't think Naomi should go away or just kind of be like floundering around. She should at least be in the mid-card status somewhere.
I feel like they're still in that sort of circle with Bianca and stuff. I feel like there's stuff you can still do there.
Yeah, and give her Bianca. I hope that happens again. We'll see tomorrow. Maybe Bianca gets a title and you can do it that way. But no, we'll see. And then after that, this one we got LA and Jacob, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And this for me, until the main event, was my match tonight. I had some predictions that, hey, this could be a Styles clash. I know everyone just fucking loves Jacob Fatu, and I do too. But like, I still like, hey, there's many great wrestlers that can just not work, right? And LA Knight, I think he's a good worker, but we've seen many times where it's just like, oh, this is a fine match. Like, he can be not stiff in the sense like he's actually hurting them, just like he can move robotic sometimes.
He has like his routine. Like, it's not like 5 moves of doom, but it's like you kind of know the stuff he can do.
Yep. And even last year,
he's got his paces.
Yeah, and like even last year, I think him and AJ had a good match, but it wasn't anything like, man, I really think about it. But this is one they almost stole the show to the main event, and that's tough because those are 3 elite workers. But they went out there, and I love that. Even LA, like, I think he was moving different, and it just was very high octane and high pace. It felt like a better, longer version of a speed match where like that's just like going there, gripping, ripping. I think this worked, and I think the crowd really needed this at this point. They're doing cool spots of LA Knight with the BTF, but the one I love was Jacob when he put him on the ropes. I think he's done this before, but I haven't seen as much because I'm not as familiar with his work. But when he like ran up the ropes, jumped, and then like did the elbow drop, like they did some good high impact stuff. And what I was surprised
there's one thing I really like too before you go is like they always do the spot of like Jacob Fatu takes a move and he like gets up a lot quicker than other people do. So when he like Ellen Knight put him down, I forget with what, and he climbed up to do like the elbow drop, and Jacob Fatu had already gone up, but then he still like midair he like side hit him with the elbow drop.
It feels weird, but it felt like a legitimate like fight in like a wrestling world, right? Like it felt like more of a brawl, but into a match. And no, it was really good. And completely clean finish. Solo was out there. When I saw Solo on the ramp, I'm like, oh, my prediction's right. Jacob's fucking losing right now. It's over. Because second Solo's out there. There's no way Solo's doing nothing, but he did nothing. He's like, yeah, go get him. And then he walked back. It's like, real. Like,
got this, bro.
And it's so weird too, because even on SmackDown last night, like, Tama Tonga and Solo like came to the arena together, but like Solo or Jacob wasn't with them. Like it's just weird. Like they can't decide is Jacob with them not. But no, this was a happily surprised me, and I would take this again. But I would actually take this like give them like a street fight stip, something like that. Like I was very surprised, and now I'm curious what they do with LA Knight, because LA Knight, when he didn't have the US title last time, he was really just kind of floating around. So I don't know. Let's see. I guess you could, you know what, you could, I would take LA and Cena as a program if Cena can get one of those, you know, other pay-per-view side ones after Backlash.
Yeah.
Like
That could be.
LA
I mean, maybe that's maybe the one I'm going to. Maybe I get that at Saturday night's main event. Or
yeah,
something
that'd be a
like
great
that.
Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
Or this year, I actually think because Jay has the title, I think actually put the Money in the Bank on LA Knight this time, because the crowd still loves him, and this was a really good performance.
Yeah, this was a
loss.
match with two guys who are both like, it's very clear, like. It's kind of weird because, like, LA Knight was the face and Jacob was the heel, but it was like they're both so over that people were cheering for both of them.
And the thing, though, too, was like I talked about predictions, it was almost more like a 50-50, where I was worried, like the crowd was hot for Jacob, but I was worried they would turn on LA, and they didn't. They were still with them. So to me, it's like proven commodity. Like I said, to me, I'm like, put the briefcase on him, in my opinion.
This was definitely a 50-50 crowd. Last we spoke, I thought that LA was going to win it, and then after SmackDown, it completely changed my mind. I did not expect Jacob Fatu to go over clean, but I mean, they put on a great match, and I will agree with you. It is my second favorite match of the night. I've got it ranked at number 2 behind the main event, and they over delivered for the expectations that I had. I thought it was going to be a simple match, and then I thought that we would get the bloodline interference and all that other stuff, and that's how it was going to end. But no, they just put up a straight up match. The crowd was hot for both of them the entire time. There was no back and forth. Oh, we like this guy, now we like, no, it was a good 50-50 crowd throughout the whole thing. People were cheering for both. Jacob Fatu really played heavily on those no-sell moments he has, where you can just see him, the street anger in him fired up, and he'd have his moments where he was just looking down the camera, and I was like, this is absolute cinema. I'm loving what these guys are doing. This match did not feel too short or too long. It was just a generally good match where they both just over-delivered.
And please, in his defenses, give him a bunch of workers. I know I have to sit through one more fucking Braun Strowman match.
You're gonna get Solo, Braun Strowman, Nakamura.
Oh god, like that's the way. There is a way where it's like it's.
I feel like
Black,
if
it's
smart,
Mellow, it's
Andrade,
or it is Strowman.
I feel like realistic is like in between. Like you're gonna get Braun. You're gonna get Miz. Like Miz is gonna get killed. You're gonna have Miz killed by him. So then Mello is like, it's like Mello, you have to fight him now.
If I gotta sit through Jacob Fatu,
look at me! Oh no! Jesus Christ!
I'm busting out a GeekVerse clip there. That's me if I gotta sit through the Miz and Jacob Fatu. You're
gonna get it.
Unless it's a 30-second squash, no. Like, my God. Oh, like, there's a path to Jacob Fatu having the best U.S. title reign in the last 10 years, or just like they're lumping him with the worst. Like I said, like Mello, Black, Andrade, Ray Phoenix. Like, you got a fucking killers that they could just tear up. Like Dave said, Rusev. Like, you have so many people, or you have Miz, Strowman, Solo, Tama Tonga, Loa. Like,
imagine
2-on-1 handicap, man.
Imagine Jacob Fatu versus the God's favorite version of Rusev that we saw in AEW.
Oh my God, yes.
Absolute bangers. I need that in my life.
Jacob Fatu versus Ethan Page.
I'll take Ethan Page. I'm not an Ethan Page hater, so I'll take it.
That'll be when Miz low blows Mello and he joins up with Ethan Page.
You gave me flashbacks when you said like, oh, the 2-for-1. This is what they're gonna do. The fucking Jacob. They're gonna have Jacob defend his title against Miz and Carmelo in a 2-for-1 Universal Championship match. Oh my God!
Please no.
Yeah, so
at Backlash, that's Miz and Mello.
It's coming up. It's Miz and Mello. I won the Andre, but we'll see. I'm just hoping, please, Triple H, Road Dogg, whoever's booking SmackDown, just let Jacob just go. Make it the workers title, because the IC title, we'll see. Like, if Dom gets that, that's like the fun Healy Championship. US title, make Jacob just go. Just make him like Umaga, just go and have bangers. But we'll see. Like, again, every week have Jacob main eventing SmackDown with some great stuff. I don't know. I'm probably being too happy about it. But anything else on Jacob or LA Knight?
Just a really great match, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like I said, they over delivered. I'm looking at the SmackDown roster now. Like we said, you're gonna have your Braun Strowman match. I could see him going against Andrade.
Yeah.
You know, you got Drew, who can bounce back between the main card and the mid card. I would love if the Street Profits drop the tag titles, then have Montez Ford go against him. Like, you've got options there.
You still waiting for that Montez Ford singles run? Yeah, that's why you drafted him. Yeah,
I'm still waiting on Montez to get his push. So,
man, I can't believe on the post show, Biggie actually said, this is a quote, the company I think was trying to position Solo as the guy Jacob Fatu is just undeniable. It's different for us fans to say that.
That was like the backstage report before Jacob even debuted. Like, they didn't want to debut him because they thought he would just completely overshadow Solo.
And
he did.
And here's my thing too. Like, I talked about, like, I guess I'm a Solo defender in the sense that I don't think he's as bad as people think. I do understand. I've seen matches like, oof. But my problem is, even to me and Jacob, it goes, oh, if that could not be good. But the thing is that you had him in all those main event programs in the summer. He lost all those feuds. And then other than appearing in Jacob's entrance, he really did nothing. Solo's, he's dead in the water now. Because at least with Liv, for me, it was like, you got to have, like, your summer main eventers, you can't just forget about them. Because then it makes people feel like those really long months between Mania seasons, like, oh, doesn't matter who's the main people now because they're going to go away. Because that was a big Vinceism, that you'd have all these people, and then Brock, Taker, Triple H would all come back for their Mania matches and be like, oh, so all the people I invested in for a year are gone. Solo, I think, is one of those where Liv is getting a WrestleMania match tomorrow. Solo, nothing. This guy main evented SummerSlam. He challenged for the title. He main evented he didn't, but he had that steel cage match with Cody at the debut network thing. It's just like, it's crazy where it's just like, sure, he'll have a match with Jacob, but I think maybe there's a tag title run in his future.
Yeah, I think he'll just kind of just be around. Like, I don't think he's getting sent to MLW or anything. Yeah. But it's just like he'll be hanging around. He'll do his backstage segments. He'll do his R-Truth segments. He'll be on Speed. He'll hang out.
Yeah. He'll get a comedy tag team with R-Truth. And David, that's a horrifying image. You can join our Discord to see these images. But speaking of, we have El Grande Americano versus Rey Phoenix, because Mysterio, unfortunately, man, this is what fucking sucks. Just wrestling, just a 6-man to promote your match, and he gets injured. And we all kind of knew that because I was sharing you guys those clips where he didn't get injured in the match as a storyline. When they won the match, he wasn't even in there. People were checking him after, and everyone was like, And my thought was, I thought they were going to push this tonight too and see if Ray could make it. But clearly, his leg must be that bad enough to, and hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Yeah, it's like he was walking around today, so hopefully it's not like too bad.
Yeah. So hopefully it's not, but clearly not enough to wrestle.
But yeah,
so
it's just like, it's always the simple, like, it was literally just, they pulled him out of the ring by the leg, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was what did it.
Yeah, so we got Rey Fenix instead. Had no WrestleMania gear, so he found like a cool lucha jacket and stuff. And you know what? Again, we talked about kudos to Rey Fenix, where he's been there for a couple weeks, like officially on the roster, already WrestleMania match.
Literally 24 hours notice.
24 hours notice. And that's why for me, this match, like, I'll agree on not at all a bad match. I think this was like a good. This is like, to me, like a good SmackDown Raw match to me. But that's why I'm fine with it, because like, they had less than 24 hours. It's Mania. I'm sure they would have done stuff. We had some crazy moments, like fucking Chad Gable's whatever, the 450.
Backwards 450. Yeah.
Rey Fenix definitely got the air knocked out of him, because you could see Chad for a second. He like stopped.
He landed. He hit one of those, like, what Jeff Hardy calls his crouton bombs, where he just fully lands on someone.
I think Chad was like, I think I've broken this guy's rib. And then after that, they do the pin, he kicked out, and the ref checked on Ray, but you could see he's like, yeah, I'm good. But you could just tell he was like, I'm hurting right now. Like, but kudos to him. And there's a couple good moments. Ray can fucking, we all know he can go. I think this was another good thing. it didn't reach LA and Jacob, but like they kept the fan anticipation up because Ray's doing all these cool flips and stuff, and a lot of stuff that people haven't seen, right? They haven't watched, fucking AEW. They haven't watched. God, what was the Luchasaur show?
Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground. Like, there's tons of people that still have only seen 3 matches of this dude. So I thought this was a solid TV match. Circumstances, made it what it was. So
yeah, they still
think,
were able to do the forehead spot. They just changed it. Like I said, I thought they were going to do it with the 619. Instead, they did it with the kick off the ropes that Ray Phoenix normally does. I will say this: I would have loved to see what kind of entrance Ray Phoenix would have had they had more than 24 hours to prepare. That was the one thing that I just like, oh man, I bet you for his first WrestleMania, he would have come up with a dope entrance had he had more than just, oh, hey, you know what? You're going in tomorrow.
Yeah. At least you got some pyro in the back. They found some red pyro and got it out there. So
you think El Grande's going to the AAA to fight Vikingo one of these days?
Well, they set that up big time because like he was like Vikingo kicked him, and at the end of that, like it was so weird the way they had Vikingo like pause with Ray Phoenix, and it felt like except a heel turn. I know that wasn't gonna happen, but they did think.
Or I thought he was gonna do like in the match with Bandito, like he was gonna tell the ref like I saw him put the plate in, like restart this match or something.
So obviously, we didn't talk about this. They have acquired. It's weird because they've talked about this all throughout the program. Sometimes they said partnership and acquired. It is acquired. But many times they said partnership. It's like, no, you fucking bought them. You didn't like. It's not.
That's what I kept saying. Which is it? I need you guys to stick with the theme here.
Yeah.
You're either partnering or you acquired, like one or the other.
There's still not much info about it. I think it was, I forget if it was Sean Ross Sapp or Dave or someone who said like it's been sort of in the works for a long time.
Did,
yeah, and then with the TKO merger, that really starts speeding things up.
Well, and that's the thing where we are now. We talk about this in our Discord, but like you can, like, that's a good thing and bad thing. Maybe I think it kind of suck. It feels very much like Xbox and PlayStation, where they're buying all the studios. That's what both WWE and AEW are doing. They're all partnering. Like we have our Mexican one, we have our Japanese one.
Yeah, I saw a tweet. And I forgot to say it, but it's like there really is a wrestling war, and there's 2 sides, and all the independent shows are just in the middle.
Yeah, exactly, right. And they're just used as like almost scouting in with WID now. So, they got AAA. We'll see what happens. There's a few people over there, specifically Alberto. I do not need back in.
No,
like
God, no.
This is a fucking guy that, like, had a woman tied up in the streets. Like, this is not a person we need on fucking. I know. WWE's had a weird week with PR, right? But there's, for me, at least a difference of your opinion, whatever, as shit as opinion I might think, to like, hey, this guy went to trial for all these terrible things he did to somebody. Saraya had said like, yeah, some bad shit happened in our relationship too. It's like, I hope some of these people don't make it over. I don't know what they're doing. And my point to get us back to the match is, good for Chad. He got like a match, but I don't know. It's just like when I talk about the prediction where he was last year, he's doing this now. He used to do Shorty G. It's just like, I still just wish he was just Chad Gable doing this. I guess I've said before, I'm not offended. It's tough for me because I'm a white Canadian. I can't be offended on the behalf of Mexican people, but like, I'm not offended by the gimmick, but I'm also not like, I just don't care about it. It's like, it's not go away. It's just like, I'm uninterested because we just know the angle here, and I wish it was Chad, but good enough match. Is there anything else on this or anything you guys want to say in the AAA stuff? When's that show again, S-Bubs? Is it June? They're doing the Worlds Collide thing with the crossover?
Think June, yeah.
Which will be interesting because like
it looked like it was branded as like NXT, but it was also like Ray, I think, said he was like gonna try and be there or something.
Yeah.
So it may just be an NXT
like a super
type show,
almost.
and then they just put Ray in the main event.
Yeah.
Something.
And it's going to be interesting, too, because like even there's people in New Japan or CMLL, AEW fans are much more like the Marks hardcore fans, right? And they know people, but sometimes they're like, I don't know this person. The WWE audience, that's going to be something different. So many people don't know a lot of it. So it's like, I'd love to know the percentage of people that are in the WrestleMania Stadium who knew who Vikingo was, right? Like, there's tons of people that go to the independent
shows. He's had like
shows,
clips, like he has like viral clips, but I don't think people know his name.
Exactly, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, we're in that state where both
I
companies
like that he was
just...
in his full gear and just the announcing. He was doing Pac mode there.
Okay, and then after this,
after I'm pretty sure just went into Charlotte Tiffany.
Yeah, which we talked about. We got that.
Because I think it really only went to nighttime for the main event.
Yeah, we had again. I don't get me wrong. Again, love Triple H. He's one of my. I don't know if he's my top 10, but he might be.
Oh.
I have not done my top 10 in a while. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on, real quick. I just looked up Triple H's roster. It includes Matt Riddle.
Oh, I
I
forgot
don't think
about
he's
that.
actually on their roster.
Is he a
like,
champion,
He's
though?
won a title there,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure he's like an MLW guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a tough thing. Who else is there? But
Raj Desi, the former Maharaja. Let's
Yeah.
see.
There's a lot of these people who are like, I mean, like Jeff Jarrett and like those type, like he shows up in AAA like every other week.
But these are the people who, according to SmackDown Hotel, who's pretty current with their listed roster, are some of the big names that perform there. Now, yeah, you've got other people who are on there like Murder Clown. We're not going to see. And things like that. Laredo Kid, who had wrestled in there before, in WWE before, is on there. But yeah, I doubt we're going to see anything with Alberto El Patron. Like, no one's going to use him
I mean,
whatsoever.
like even with the TNA thing, like they haven't done anything with Tessa
Yeah.
or anything. So I feel like they sort of know like the sort of stuff that'd be like I don't know.
I hope.
Yeah, you're not going to see
I
Murder
hope-
Clown on WWE TV.
I hope, but I never know in the next year. A lot can happen.
I
or
feel like what's
change.
gonna happen more. I feel like they're gonna do the big crossover show, and that's gonna be the big one. But I feel like a lot of the time it is just gonna be they're sending guys to AAA to do like kind of what they did the big TNA storylines, and then for a while they've just kind of been sending some NXT people to do TNA as like reps and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. They did the Hall of Fame walkout. Again, I love Triple H. Thought his speech was great last night. Just weird he's coming out for Hall of Fame. He doesn't need to open the show again. He narrates
Where
the
was
show.
Luger for the Hall of Fame walkout?
I bet they might be saving him for tomorrow because I wonder if he can only do one. Because he even said that in his speech, where so I can't remember if it was a wheelchair or they helped him up, but they helped him to the podium and he stood. But he said even in his speech that the plan was for him to do a walk from the stage to the podium, but he had to fall at the airport. So he said that like that's what really messed him up. So it could be that situation where he like that fall maybe he was just fine for the speech, but then after that it's gonna be So that's my prediction is maybe just. Because they do them on both nights for some reason. That's why it's like Triple H is going to come out and spit again. Love that they didn't have another camera, so he spat, and then the camera was covered in water. So they're going by all the field is covered in water. But again, like, man, you're coming out for Hall of Fame. You don't need to come out night one and be like, I understood WrestleMania 40. That's a big one. But he narrates the video. He comes out. It's like, man, like, we get it, man. We get you are running you're the leader of the fucking ship. I get it. And he's ending the press conference right now. Like he is all
He's
over the
been
place.
ending the press conference for the last 35 minutes.
Oh, has he been? Wow, I'm excited to listen to it later. The best WrestleMania, but yeah. So we got that, and then we talked about Charlotte and Tiffany, and then we got the main event, which some great entrances all around. We talked about that.
Punk entrance was
Yeah.
incredible, and Seth's entrance got me because when he first came out, I was like, "Oh, well, this is lame." And then he has a flamethrower. I'm like, "Rock's already done this, but okay." And then the lights go
That's
off.
all they
and
had
I'm like,
at WWE World. They have the Rock sign. Like,
yeah,
God.
and
on
I'm like,
display.
"Oh."
Hated
like,
that. I
the
was there
lights
live,
go
it was
out and he-
awful.
They hit him with the white, and he's got the Jesus sunglasses
Yeah.
with the crown of thorns on them, and I'm like, "Bravo."
When the screen went
Seth.
black, just like pure black, not even like darkness, I was like, did he like get set on fire or something? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, we had that. And
but-
the Punk thing was amazing. That entrance.
Yeah.
there. Yeah. You go back to his
Punk's-
very first promo, and then you get Fire Burns. Good stuff.
Yeah, I like
Living
the
Color,
piano
of
version
course,
of this Fire Burns that was behind it before they went into the actual music. Like at first they're starting and I hear the piano and I was like, wait a minute, that's this Fire Burns, and then they go into the real thing. I'm like, oh, this is just amazing.
It's kind of like what they did that one time with Drew McIntyre, where they had like a promo video before his entrance with the what's the name of it? Broken Dreams.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they went into like his normal entrance. But I mean, honestly, with Living Color there, that was great.
Yeah, no, I remember because like legitimately I got choked up because like Punk is one of my guys. He's like of that last era when I was a wrestling junkie watching indies and watching ROH. And I remember in Canada, the ECW version, like the WWE version, it was like at 1 a.m. on our channel here, like on the Tuesday. We didn't get it regularly. And I remember CM Punk was going to be on, and I stayed up late on a school night to watch it. I remember that promo of like, I'm CM Punk and I'm addicted to pro wrestling. And it works. It's like a cheesy promo, but it works as Punk the way he is. Like, I don't drink, but like I remember sitting there watching that. Like I had to see that live. So the fact they had that and had him redo all his promos, again, I go back and forth on the WrestleMania main event thing, but it's fine. It works here because, that's what he wanted. He closed off a show in a big angle. And yeah, that was fantastic. Living Color was back, which that was a full circle moment for me because I said in the Discord, last time Punk wrestled at WrestleMania was WrestleMania 29. That I was there for that, and Living Color was there too, and that was such a great moment. And there was fun stuff seeing him with Paul. It was a very cool full circle moment. In classic Punk, no cool like WrestleMania gear. He just has the fucking beige hoodie that he used to wear with Paul all the time in that run. It's like it was perfect. So no, it really felt like a full, he's made his buy 2 for 1 WrestleMania remarks, but it's like, yeah, for him it means something. I'm happy. Again, I still would one time like actually unite to and like close it, but
I feel like there's a chance you still get that Cody versus Punk Mania.
Yeah, I think that's definitely could be on the table. Hell, like they could stretch it out. Like they left it on the table. I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, but like we'll get to. But like even Roman and Punk, like they did some stuff here. But
he didn't take the pin.
He didn't take the pin. Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. So yeah, we got this main event here. At first, I was worried, but I completely take it back because they at the beginning had the face-offs, which was good. Stare downs. Crowd was eating it up. Crowd was pretty like it was like a. I don't know, like a 40,
33,
40
33, 33.
I definitely think Seth had like a little more, but they were singing. They were pretty hyped on him. But with Punk and Roman, those were the loudest. But in like after they faced off, they went into the crowd. And just like last year for night 1, it's not that I hate it, but like there's just times where it's like, I just want to stay in the ring. Luckily, all they did is they fought there and they did a circle and they went right back. I was worried like last year because the tag match, they had like a
last year they like split off completely and it's like you couldn't even follow it. Yeah.
And I didn't want a section where Seth and Punk find the crowd, and then Roman and Punk find the crowd. Like I didn't need that. I was happy they just did a circle and it led to Roman jumping and taking some fans out. But like overall, I thought it was a great match, but a great character moment match as well. And it's so funny, like the last week, man, between Dynasty where we got Speedball, Ricochet, and Kenny, and then NXT where we got Trick, Javon, and Oba.
People are joking, had the tweet in the drafts of the NXT one being better, but I honestly think it's pretty close at the end of it.
Well, but that's what I say with this. To me, they're all 3 great triple threat matches that are like different in a sense, right?
Yeah,
like,
they're great in their own rights. Yeah, they all have different reasons for being great. Like with the NXT triple threat, Javon Evans was just on another level of greatness. Trick was doing his thing. He busted out some new moves. Like it was great for its own reason. But the storytelling behind this, the pure psychology behind it.
Great moments throughout.
And then even the in-ring stuff was just great.
Yeah, no, it all delivered,
And it left you with memorable moments, whether it be the Roman diving over the crowd and taking everyone out, or again, the Paul Heyman moments. There were so many great moments with this that it left you remembering this match. And again, that's what a main event should do. It should have those moments. It should leave you with those memories. And yeah, all in all, this was an amazing way to close out night 1.
Yeah, no, I think they absolutely delivered here. Lots of great moments, not to the same amount of quality, but it reminds me, like some people might hate it, but the 2 ones it reminds me of is Brett and Shawn, the Iron Man match. It was an hour, but that, and then the Rock and Austin 17, where throughout the matches you always had like big moments. Then it was like wrestling, and then a big moment. Like stuff like the Shield powerbomb spot was fantastic. Seth actually said Mox's fucking name on air, which was crazy.
Because that was the thing. He was like that, like kind of snapped Roman into like his old version for a moment, which is also like the story is it's truly never gonna end until they do the triple threat, the Shield triple
at
threat.
WrestleMania, you got to do it, but like that's the thing where, and then they all hug at the end. That's the finish right there, right?
Yeah.
But like they do that thing where last night he said Dean Ambrose, but then tonight he said Mox. But yeah, he said like you don't have Paul, you don't have the Bloodline, you don't have Mox, and I was like, okay, this is I'm waiting for him to drop that that fucking title and come back. But then I knew this spot was coming when he had him, because the way he was holding like CM Punk, I'm like, he can't physically lift CM Punk that way. So I'm like, oh, it's not happening. But it was so great, this moment of Roman's firing up. He's doing the old big dog thing. Then he looks and he punches Seth. We get our first table spots with the new tables, which that's why they don't put them through, because like they got no gives, because like that's because I explained to Emily, it's like at least with the other tables, like they break and you keep falling, right? This is like a sudden stop and then it breaks, because it's like it's just solid. I'm not saying it's like, oh my god, like the fucking cement floor, but I think that's why they don't do it. And they had to do it.
Saves it for big moments.
Yes,
too.
it worked. But no, I thought that was great. Where he fired up, the crowd wanted it, and then he's like, no, because he's. I think it's like Roman finally showing no, like I am alone. Like I'm not gonna have this one night stand with you. Like I'm not helping you out here. Like whatever, I'll do both myself. Like you said in the Discord, that's what he got the double power bomb, because he did one to Punk, and legitimately, I thought I was right, because when he did one, the timing of it was he did one to Punk, he did one to Seth. Punk was in the ring, he got and speared him. I legitimately thought that's it, because I thought Roman's going over. This is it. That's a good finish right there. Of like he overcame the Shield thing. He took out his fake mentor in CM Punk. But there was a lot of good false finishers. Even the one where they did
the spear into
really
pedigree followed by the curb stomp. I was like, oh, this is
until
the flying spear pedigree catch was amazing.
Yes, I was like, wow.
That was a callback to, again, funny enough, when Roman got suspended for steroids. That was they took the title off him that way, because he jumped and Seth got him, and then after that, Moxley cashed the Money in the Bank on Seth. It was the night where all Shield members were world champion. Yeah, but like that was a great callback. But yeah, that moment when it was GTS into spear into stomp until Rollins fell, like collapsed. I'm like, oh my god, Rollins is gonna win right here, because there's no way. But there's lots, because like you can do the spam kick out finisher, and of course crowd's gonna pop, but it was like the variation of how they're doing it tonight. It wasn't just that. There's a little bit, but like near the end, it was very masterfully done. And then obviously the very end, we've talked a little bit about, but the big moment, which we hint about, David, you were really putting it out forward of Seth winning and a reason why, but we got a great layout of Seth's down, it's Punk and Roman there in the middle. Paul goes, gets a chair. Like, what's he going to do? He gives it to, because I actually at first thought Dave was right, but what I thought he was going to do is they were there, and I thought he was going to slide the chair past them to Seth. But I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do it like in the middle of all three of them to be like, oh, who is it for?
Yeah. Only reason I didn't think that they were going to do that is because he already did that in the Brock Roman match.
That's what I was thinking, but they were like, that's not
he
not
put it
canon
between
anymore.
them,
right.
and they still had to figure it out. Like he didn't choose a side. So this one, I thought more that he was going to, when Punk went to go swing the chair, he would grab it out of his hands. But I liked the low blow better.
Yes.
Like it held more weight.
Once
than
he
him
like
just
fully got
grabbing
in the
chair.
ring, I knew there were like shenanigans gonna happen.
Absolutely. Paul never gets in the ring, because that's the same thing too. Like the funny deal of the story of like, what's Roman gonna do without Paul? I get it, he has his counsel, but like Paul has interfered in like 5% of his matches in the last 5 years. Like that's not Paul Heyman's route in this. Paul Heyman did more with the Brock Lesnar as far as like interfering and stuff. With Roman, not really, but yeah, he slides the chair to Punk. Punk goes to hit Roman, low blow. Roman's all happy. He climbs over, and this is where I knew.
He's like, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. You are my one true tribal
And then
chief.
when he hit Punk with the chair and speared him and stuff, I was like, okay, because I was like, oh, this is gonna set up like SummerSlam, Punk, Roman, 1-on-1. Maybe they want Roman to be a heel again. I saw the vision, but when they didn't immediately go to the finish, like, okay, no, like. This is not over with, because it was getting too drawn out to be. Oh yeah, he's just gonna
was
hit
on
Seth.
the ropes. He was in the pose.
Yeah, because you would think about like talking about the Jay and Gunther thing. Imagine if he did just hit Seth and spear him. The crowd would be kind of dead, because it's like, well, that's like we see what's happening. Like it's just Roman winning because he got the chair. But this was great of Seth's up. He's like, go hit him, even though it's like. isn't Roman over this? He did this last year. Like, does he just always does he want Seth tied to the ropes and just wants to continually beat him over? But Paul's like, look, my tribal chief. Seth's doing the shield pose. So Roman's going to go hit him. I think Paul got down a little too early because Roman hadn't even picked up the chair. Paul had
I'm pretty sure Paul hit his fist on the chair.
Yeah, he mistimed it, but that's okay. He did that. And both got massive pops too when he got down on his knees and hit the thing. And then just that moment, the shot of Paul standing there and Seth not even turning around, and Seth just puts his hand out for the chair. And that's why I went with the name. I think they'll do a variation, but man, I felt like I was watching fucking 2015 Seth Rollins all over again. And like, that's what we want. Like, how for the past year, especially last two gimmicks, I've been bitching about like, Rollins has looked like an idiot. He talks about stuff of like, this is really bad. And the people are like, we love CM Punk. We love like, and as a heel, you can do that because you're supposed to get booed. You're supposed to be the bad guy. But as a babyface, if you're making honest, truthful points and they're booing you or like cheering against you, you just look dumb. So this is the perfect way where he can say, hey, I told you all this. You don't pick my side. I told everyone about these two. No one listens to me. Fuck you all. And he looked like, they'll do a variation, but he looked like just his facials. It remind me of post-Shield Seth. And that's the best. Like, he should have done.
He was moving good in this match. He got some extra stem cells for this match.
Did,
he was landing on those knees pretty hard on some moves and stuff, and he was okay.
Yeah. And that's where, like, I know he said he's more near the end of his career, but they should have done this before where even Triple H, I can't remember, I watched an interview with him, but he said this in his doc too, where Stone Cold was already the top guy, and he saw Rock was going to be the top guy, and he realized, I can never be the top babyface, but I can be like the Darth Vader of those two. That should have always been Seth. He should have always been 1A, 1-2 heel, and he has
Seth,
been that before,
there were those interviews, like, just this past year where they're talking about, like, WWE needs like a big heel and stuff like that. Yeah,
and clearly Cena's not always going to be around, right? Like we're assuming going to win the title tomorrow, but there's going to be times where he goes away, so you need someone else also anchor it. He can also be the one, like you said, S Bubs, that could just destroy Jay. And I hope that wouldn't that be great? Like Roman's gone and he takes the title off of Jay. Like I do trust Triple H because Seth Rollins is a Triple H guy. I think this has worked out for somebody that did not even want him in the match. If this was the angle, if it was just Punk winning, Seth winning Roman, I would have felt like great match, but still wish there was other ways. This made it all worth it. And I think Seth and Paul's going to be a very fun dynamic as well. So I got like,
there's only
perfect.
There's only one option going forward. Seth needs to come out in something special. He has to come out.
That is a good call. He should come
literally
out
in the I'm a Paul Heyman guy t-shirt. He has to come out in that.
Especially on SmackDown, he sat down like CM Punk and did like the whole pipe bomb type of promo thing. Like he should come out with a Paul Heyman guy shirt. That would be great, or at least say that. But yeah, no, this is great. And it's funny. We talked about this a few weeks ago where people were predicting this, and I was like, yeah. And even Dave, you said you could see that happen. I was like, that would be great, but I just don't know if they're going to go that route. And this is one of these cases where they went there, and I think this is perfect because now I want to see Seth and Roman one-on-one. I want to see Seth and Punk one-on-one again. There's still meat on the bone for Roman and Punk. Like there's tons of stuff. Like
I mean, now you can do Cody Seth again.
Oh, absolutely. And Seth should get his win back. Hell, you can do Roman and CM Punk on a team together and versus Seth and something like, fuck, get Moxley. But could you imagine? My God. Could you imagine if you had Seth and John Moxley, Dean Ambrose versus CM Punk and Roman Reigns? My God. Like, we need Moxley back over. Like I said, do a trade. Trade somebody. I don't know who in WWE. Okay, you know who? Because we're not going to talk about tomorrow. Trade fucking Bayley. Because I don't care what anyone's going to say. I love Becky Lynch. I think she is the most important female we've ever had in the wrestling business. This shit about, it's been planned for weeks that Bayley was just going to be benched for possibly Becky. We know it's Becky. This is fucking bullshit.
That tweet from Mercedes Moné though, that got me when she was like, "Hey,
finger point phone money," and it's like, yes, go get the bank. But I'm pretty sure didn't Bayley like re-sign last year?
She re-signed, yeah, I think last year for like 5 years or something like that.
No. So this is where I'm saying, do a trade, get in a room, send Bayley there, send Moxley over, and I think that's actually a fair trade, especially where Moxley's stock is right now. That's a fair trade. You get the dream team of Willow and Bayley together as well. Like everyone wants to. They were hanging out a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I just like we'll see tomorrow, but I am pissed for Bailey because like that is like because everyone's just like, well, how else would you get there? The whole thing. You know what you fucking do? The same thing Randy Orton did. Hey, tomorrow I'm having an open challenge. You just have Raquel and Liv on Monday say, hey, we're having an open challenge. And guess what? Let's say Becky for some reason isn't going to show up. Then you go, okay, just do Lila and Bailey. They go out, have a match. But then there's no announcements. There's nothing. And like, I'm not going to speak for people's personal beliefs and everything like that, but like, I can't believe Becky would be like cool with this. Like, I don't know how Becky and Bailey are. Maybe she fucking hates Bailey and she's like, yeah, suck it. You know, like take this. But it's like to be like, how am I going to come back? Well, for weeks, we're going to promote Bailey's in this match and then you're going to take her spot. And I know she's going to get a big pop. People will be happy to see her, but I'm just talking from a personal level. It's like, can't you even do this on the Raw after? It's just like, that to me is so shitty. I hate this. I hate everything about this, especially because there's all these examples of Bailey always being like pushed to the side. Like, I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. Get on the phone with TK, work something out, get Moxley over here. You get Willow, you get Monet, you get fucking, Billy Starks. That's her favorite wrestler, right? Boom, get Billy Starks. Like, there's so much for her to do over there. Like, it's funny. There's so much for Moxley to do in WWE. Yeah. There's so much for Bailey to do over there. And to me, I was not hoping Bailey was injured, but I kind of was. Because I go, okay, that makes sense. She's hurt. Hey, Becky, we got a spot. Big pop. You want to come in for a night? That'd be fine. But the fact that I think it was Fightful and PWI reporting that no, this has been planned for a bit. It's like, and like talent backstage. It's so funny. My last point in this is because we all watched it, the WrestleMania 9 doc with Hogan and S-Bubs, you shared the meme. But it was that where they're like, yeah, all the boys weren't happy with Hogan. And that's already the rumor. Like, yeah, people are kind of really bummed for Bailey because everyone likes her. And like, this is kind of shitty. And it's like, especially in a world where Becky already get those like Becky Hogan comparisons, like that is not a good look, in my opinion. Not a good look to just take a spot. Like it'd be different if Bailey or Becky showed up for WrestleMania season, but just to show up WrestleMania night 2, my God, that's some heinous political stuff going on there. My God, you know, all first world problems. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Bailey's getting paid 7 figures, I'm sure, but it's just like, that did not sit with me when I was watching that pre-show and she was injured. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. They're doing this, but oh yeah. Any thoughts on the main event or anything with Bailey there? Anything we haven't touched upon?
No, I feel bad for Bailey. I think that she has been such an asset to this company. To build her up only to pull her is just a stupid fucking decision. Like I have no other words other than that. It is just a stupid fucking decision. If you're not going to use her, don't build her up and then pull her like that. Then just don't announce her. Use anyone else on the roster to be Lyra's partner. Build somebody else. Bring someone in from NXT. Bring Roxanne Perez. I mean, you guys have been using her on and off this year on the main roster. Use anyone else, but don't do this to Bailey. She is too good of a person, has been too good for this company, this division, to do something like this.
Well, they even did the whole like Roxanne Bailey thing and they dropped it. It's like that would have been perfect. Like have them have like a 10-minute match, show off or whatever, and then have Becky her spot. It's weird. So I just wonder if Becky, I don't know. We'll get more on that situation, I'm sure, tomorrow in the next few weeks of like why is it this situation and everything. But yeah, it's weird. So that's how we can get Moxley though. That it's Bailey's mad, make the trade, see what happens. But I was gonna ask, do we think Seth drops this music? He kind of has to, right? In my opinion, like if they want him to be actually fully heel, like he can't have sing along with Seth Rollins, in my opinion.
I
don't know. He's used some variation of this, so I don't know. He might change it a bit, but I think for the most part, it will stay the same.
Damn it. He should use this fire burns, just to rub it in. But no.
You know what the shirt's gonna be? It's gonna be It's either gonna be I'm a freaking Paul Heyman guy or I'm a Paul freaking Heyman guy.
Yeah, it is. The freaking's gonna. I hope he drops that too. See, I want everything. I want the costumes dropped. I want the theme dropped. Seth has changed himself. I want it to be very much more closer back to 2015. Not a copy, but I want the outfits, the entrances, the singing, all of it gone. I'm just hoping by that look in his eyes, to me it looked like there's a change coming, but we'll see. Espos, out of 10, what would you give WrestleMania 41 Night 1? And anything else you want to shout out before we end this episode?
Out of 10, I'd
Oh, and we'll talk
say.
about Stand Deliver after this. Sorry,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that after this rating here.
I think I'd probably go like a 7 or like a 7.5, something along those lines.
Okay, what about you, David?
Right now I have it sitting at a 7. Just straight up solid 7. There's no scenario where it goes above a 7. Again, the main event was great. It got me in the feels, everything about that. I mean, I just put in the Discord the image of CM Punk afterwards, after he went off the air, saying, I fucking did it, and just his emotion and everything else. Like, that part was great. But again, the missteps and the deflated matches that were involved definitely do bring it down significantly.
Yeah, it's hard for me to I'm somewhere like a 6.57. Like I don't even know if I can get to 7, but it's just like it's tough because there were some big stuff. But yeah, I think I'm at I'll go 6.5. Maybe I'll sit on. I'll get 7. But I agree with you, David. I could not go higher than a 7. I just think, like I said, it did feel a couple too TV or like B-rate pay-per-views. There wasn't too many moments, and the moments I thought we were gonna get either underwhelmed or underdelivered. But surprise U.S. title match for me, that was a great mid-card match. Tiffany and Charlotte to me delivered, and then the main event was I'm not sure. It's like it was a great main event. I'm not gonna say it was like one of the best ever. I need some time. There's some main events where I felt that like Sasha and Bianca right after, like, okay, this is a top 3, and I still have that there.
Yeah.
This was really great, but we've had a lot of great main events, so I'll wait and see. But it's definitely in the way positive, like higher positive, because like for me,
It's not a 5-star match, but it's a memorable match.
Yeah, like I think I'm probably like I might even be like a 4.5 on that 5-star angle. That's what I'll give it though. The ending,
Yes.
5-star angle, and that always helps. And that's where it's like it's Rock and Austin, but done the right way, because it is like guy turning heel with a steel chair, but it's like, oh, this one makes sense. Where Austin, I know they want it to, but for me, it's just why I always can't put that main event too high. But yeah, I'll go with 6.5 for now. Really hoping for night 2. Stand Deliver, I'll go first because I've not seen it all, but I saw the ladder match. I skipped because I don't fuck with the family, or I don't care. I don't like that storyline at all. Any like stacks and everything, so I skipped that. But because I was driving back from Easter stuff, so I watched that. I watched the women's fatal 4-way and the triple threat. Like David said, Javon is like, that guy's I've seen him wrestle before, but man, he's just like a freak of nature. The way he's moving around, that's fucking Spider-Man. That's not a wrestler.
Yeah.
That is Spider-Man. And that was that. Like I honestly, I'm still going back and forth, but I said like that for me might be a 5-star match because it's just like the athletic side from all 3 of those guys. The spots were great, and I also thought like multiple spots were very creative. Ladder match was tons of fun. I've not followed too much, but they made me invested. What's the team name of
The Daruka storyline.
Absolutely. Yeah, when they
That's
went
on your Liv and Rhea, but the NXT version.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, but when they were on the top of the ladder, did that spot before they punched and Zara like stopped her, and then they went to the fight. Because I was with people, I legitimately thought they were gonna kiss for a second. Like the way they stopped, I was like,
There's
oh
a little
God.
stroke of the hand and everything. I was like, oh,
But
all right.
it was great, and even the women's fatal 4-way was like. That was really good. Maybe didn't meet my complete expectations. I think I've seen better combos of them, but from what I saw, was really good. I'm gonna try to maybe catch up on the rest of the stuff tomorrow than the family stuff, but no, it was very good. My last note is fucking get Roxanne in NXT. She was wrestling Stephanie on Tuesday. What's going on? She's a Royal Rumble record. Like let's get her out of there. But no, I think they delivered. And again, that's where we're talking about those triple threats. You can see the variation of how different triple threats can be, and even then, like there's athleticism both the AEW one and this one, but this one had like the big man feel, right? Where
the AEW one was kind of like in the middle of these two, because it had a lot of the spots and the work rate, but then it also went like 30 minutes or something.
It went long, and like their story was like, Kenny's beat up and old. Can he overcome this? You know, they had but they had like the bald spot and everything, so they had their like moments. But the great show, and I'm hoping that they don't do what I've talked to Espos in Discord. I don't watch NXT every week, but I think Trick leading that heel group is not. I don't think.
I don't know if it's gonna happen now. I feel like they were sort of building that he was like the leader, and they attacked him, and I thought that was gonna be a swerve, like, oh, they're gonna help him win. But since then, like, they were like in a 6-man match against them, but they just like Trick and Nova just like fought to the back and like during the match, so there wasn't really any involvement. So I think
Yeah.
it's gonna end up not really being related. But
And I think that, to me, just like calm up now. I think it's time. Like, I know people are like, oh, he's not the greatest wrestler. It doesn't matter. This doesn't be not the greatest wrestler in WWE. Like, it's like Trick still has to me, enough of the tools. He can be our main roster guy, especially main roster matches. Sometimes you don't even wrestle as like athletically as NXT matches. You have a lot of like Trick Williams can go fucking wrestle the Miz for 10 minutes and be okay. You know,
Yeah.
like he can go wrestle Jacob Fatu, and Fatu will care. Like, please, I'll take Trick Williams versus Jacob Fatu over the Miz any day. At least, fuck. But like, yeah, I think get him on the main roster. Preferably, I'd say don't put him with Mello. Keep them apart for now. I'd say get Trick on Raw. Get that, because remember he was on the Raw Netflix thumbnail randomly. Remember when they were first going, and then
yeah, and just like the trailers and stuff.
Get that channel on Netflix. You know, you got the yeet, you got the whoop that trick. Perfect.
Yeah.
But you go.
I watched all of the NXT. I advise you, again, the family match you could skip. You did. You didn't miss anything. The fallout of it.
Big turn.
Yeah, the fallout of it is really all that mattered.
Yeah.
I liked the women's fatal 4-way match. I will say this: if you are not going to put an NXT title on Jordynne Grace, then go ahead and move her up to the main roster, because I do think that she is main roster ready. She was main roster ready when she came over. I know she wanted to be in NXT because she liked the women's division in there. But
all those girls other than Jada, I think they're all ready to go, which is fine because you can't gut NXT, but like they're ready right now.
I
But
don't
at the same
think that
time,
you
there's
can have
also a lot of people. Sorry for cutting you off, but I think there's a lot of people that when this crop of the main event women go up, like a lot of the women in the North American title ladder match, I think are gonna be like the main eventers when these leave.
I just think for Jordynne Grace right now, for her character, for who she is built to be, you can't continue to have her in the main event scene and not win. So at this point, put her on the main roster. Like some of the other people, again, you can continue to have Julia chase for the championship. You can have her and Stephanie Vicor go back and forth for a little while. Jada Parker's fine in NXT for a little while. And you have this great group of women who was in the North American Championship match. But for someone like Jordynne Grace, who's this big, dominant powerhouse, you can't keep having her not win the big one.
Who just can fucking move, man. Like I've watched Grace for a long time, but like she's so big, but she's just so like athletic, and she just go. It's great. Like she should not be able to move the way she does with that big of a frame and the weight she's carrying. Like she's just like effortless. Like because I never really watched much of her TNA stuff, and she's always been good. But I remember when she was in the Rumble a couple years ago, I was like, wow, she's looked good. And every time I see her, it's like, yeah. So I'm with you that maybe if she doesn't go, she should be the one to get that title and then send the other two. I don't know, but yeah, Jordynne again, great showing, just some great power spots, and she's got good charisma too. So
Yeah.
But I also saw the whole show, even the pre-show match.
Right.
And
Who ended up winning that? I actually never knew.
Tatum and Gigi won it.
Okay. Yeah. What the fucking? I saw was the sexual submission thing. That's all I saw in my timeline from that match.
They have a lot. They have a lot of moves. A lot of their tag team moves are in a similar style to that.
Yeah.
The whole thing is they won, and now because it's like, it could be because they're gonna be facing the women's tag team champions on NXT this week. So it's like, if it's Lyra, it's like that was Tatum's whole storyline with Lyra. But the pre-show match, it was fine. It was all right. What
Are
else?
Cora and Roxanne like good now, or are they like
No,
still...
like Roxanne walked out and then
Okay,
they pinned Cora.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
But it was like everyone was focused on like Roxanne walking out, that when they pinned Cora, there was like no reaction. Like they just pinned her, it's like, oh, she's out, because it was an elimination match as well. Then what else was the first match? Ricky and Ethan. That was a pretty fun match.
Mhm.
They both were just taking a lot of bumps, like just jumping all the way to the announce table, and a lot of Ethan does a lot of like the bag working the back spots. So there's a lot of getting thrown on the rope. Like he did like the classic like drop on the ropes, but like on his back, like just the middle of his back across the ropes and falling to the outside, and that was a fun match. Yeah,
There
and
was a "Thank you, Tony" chant going out through.
yeah, the red. They only did it like one time, which they had restraint for it. Most of the time, they were just chanting for either Ricky or Ethan. And they were doing like the chant that people do for like Cody and Roman. Now they were doing like the Ricky Saints, Ricky
Oh,
Saints.
of course, yeah.
What else? Then there was Fraxium versus Hank and Tank, which was an awesome match. I
Yeah.
love that
I
match.
heard that. Yeah.
Just both the teams just doing really cool stuff, and just a great match. And I think it's Hank has an amazing black hole slam. He hit a great one, just
Oh, I
like
love the black hole
just like
slam.
full, just like complete rotation across.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
And yeah, their finisher is like it's like he has them like in a power slam, and the other guy runs and hits like a hidden blade to his head, and then the power slam, and that's their tag team finisher. Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, that was an awesome match. And yeah, Fraxium,
Were you
they
surprised
like
they lost the titles?
I thought
They
they
got
were
that
gonna
time drawn?
lose.
Oh,
Yeah,
did you?
I
Okay,
thought it
yeah.
was like because yeah, they'd been building this whole story. Like Hank and Tank would just lose like every week because they were trying to be like different tag teams would show up and try and give them like advice, and they would try and do something from those tag teams and just like always lose. And then the last match was a gauntlet match to be like number one contenders, and they were like themselves, and that's how they won. So it's like I thought it's like they kind of had to, and they're like the big team that's like they hadn't fought. They were pretty much the only team that hadn't fought Fraxium in like this tag team title run. So I felt like it had to be them. But yeah, it was still a great match, and a lot of moments were a lot of good near falls too. And yeah, Fraxium seemingly fine. They were at WrestleMania.
I
They
saw their
posted a
eating.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they should get to that. Like we talked about that main roster. Yeah, I hope that's coming up soon. So
And yeah, there was the family and Dark State match, which is yeah, it was fine. The Dark State guys are pretty good. They do some cool stuff, but it was mostly about the D'Angelo lore in this match, so it wasn't as much about the Dark State stuff. But it was fine. Yeah, women's four-way talked about it. It was good. I liked all of them. Obviously Stephanie McCare doing her move to everyone was the big moment.
yeah, big spot. Yeah.
What else? And then I think it was just the triple threat after that, which yeah, like you guys had said, just a really great match. And yeah, Oba, he wasn't my prediction, and I wasn't really thinking he would retain. I don't know why, but it makes sense. And yeah, I'm excited. I feel like Oba versus Javon is definitely the plan for like
Yeah.
that's when he wins it.
100%. Yeah, that's what I got, especially with him pinning him, because it's funny. There's sometimes where the pin is like, oh, that's the end, and that's to move on, and there's sometimes where pins like to kind of set more up, and I think that's just to build up him as a baby face. And yeah, I'll be very excited to see that as like a one-on-one. Have they done one-on-one yet? Well, actually, I'll take that back. Okay, if they haven't, that's good. But there's difference like one-on-one TV and then one-on-one like pay-per-view PLE, and I'll be excited for Oba
The
him
most
main
they've
event
done
of
is
something.
they were in the Iron Survivor match,
yeah.
and I think he pinned him at least once in the like Javon pinned Ova, I think at least once in the Iron Survivor match.
Yeah, no, that's like that's just perfect classic like monster bad guy and then like flying, David Goliath situation. Like that's gonna be really fun to watch. I think Javon will beat him with like a bunch of moves or a small Tony
I do
Storm
wonder,
small package.
yeah, I do wonder how long this Oba reign will be. Like I don't know, because if they want to call him up, I think the draft. I don't know when it's happening, but
I
NXT
thought they
usually
said
does.
May, I think.
Yeah,
That's the
NXT
rumor, yeah.
usually does spring break-in like 1 or 2 weeks after Stand and Deliver, something like that. Because that's when, yeah, because Ilya lost his title at spring break-in, and then he got called up like right after.
These fucking, I know we're in spring, but just like AEW with spring break through, this with like spring break in. These fucking like, I guess it's just because I just associate these with like when it should be spring break. So when it's after, it's just, but yeah, I guess you could. I just,
So I don't
think you
but I
need to
think
call
he'll
him
have a
up though right
longer,
now.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think he'll have a longer reign. There's definitely, I'm trying to think like of challengers for him. I'd have to think and really look through like the roster.
I think you could
But,
eventually get Ricky Saints when he loses the North American, because I don't think he would beat him, but that's a potential one. Plus, you
Yeah.
got other people coming up, right? And couldn't they have? Didn't Tony D'Angelo, he beat him for the North American, right?
Yeah.
So you could run that back but this time Oba gets his win, because I
Yeah.
never liked that.
That match, the Tony D'Angelo match was really good, but then his reign was just like nothing. It was a transitional reign for a transitional reign. Like, you had a transitional reign to Shawn Spears, who had a transitional reign to Ricky Saints.
Gotta love it, yeah. Yeah, I think Oba will be there for a while. I just don't see them bringing him to TV yet, especially because I feel like you got Cena, you got Seth, you got Rusev, who's gonna be like a monster heel, maybe, stuff like that. So
And I guess I forgot to talk about really the women's ladder match, which was
right.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and like you said, yeah, the Zaruka storyline is kind of it's been fun. It's like one of those. It seemed like a very random tag team, but it seems that outside of like they're actually really good friends, because they've done a lot of little video. Like, they pretty much started the storyline themselves with just like some like TikToks and stuff like that. And it's just been really working. And as a team, when they actually do wrestle as a team, they've been pretty good. So now I wonder where it's gonna go with, obviously, Soul having won the title here. But yeah.
Don't forget too, newly Speed champion as well. She's the double champ right now. Speed champion and North America. And because I haven't seen it that much. I've seen it in the GM mode game. I fucking love the North American with the white strap. There's something about that title with the white strap that's just like gorgeous, because some look better, some don't. The white strap with North American, it's that white and red. Oh my goodness, it's like
unique. Yeah,
it looks really, really good. So yeah, no, Soul Ruga, she's just fucking crazy. All that stuff she's pulling
that
off.
ending, where she did the Soul Snatcher to everyone.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah,
and she did
Thea
like
Hale.
Like whatever, she like crunched her way up on the ladder. That was impressive, because I'm like, just don't fall, And yeah, Thea Hale, she's like,
she's
I've only seen her a few times, but I'm becoming a fan of hers. So
she was really fun. She's just hyperactive and stuff. Yeah, they all had a good performance here. I thought the Izzy Dame had like a really good like MVP of this ladder match. I thought she had some fun moments. She's the one in like Shawn Spears' group, which kind of the story that she's gonna be the one that like is like pushed in this group. Like, they after Shawn Spears like lost the title, they had a promo video where it was like, I forget the exact wording of it, but it was pretty much saying like we're your goons now, and you're gonna be like the main person here. And she's pretty good. She was like, for a long time, just kind of like a level up type person, and had she was like, Kiana James was like her mentor for a while or something like that, but she wasn't really doing anything. Like, she would sort of be on TV like every once in a while, and now it seems like she's definitely one that's going to be one of those like next up when like I said, when these top, like when Julia and Jorah and Stephanie start leaving. I think she's definitely going to be one pushed to that main event picture.
Yeah. Okay. Well, David, anything else on NXT? You say anything?
Nope, that's it for me on NXT.
Yeah. Oh, I was just seeing, because of course now you see the fallout. Everybody praise the complete or timeline, like complaints, stuff like that. It is kind of crazy, the matches, the runtime, like 9:15, 9:20, 10:40, 7:50. That's like for the first 4 matches. It's crazy amount of time for like small amount. So obviously don't count for entrances. And I will say, as a negative too, I get it. It's TKO, they do that. The sponsorships, man, there's just way too much going on. I get it. Like in the middle of Jey Uso's entrance, like, here's fucking Slim Jim's girl. It's like, don't do that. Show her later. I don't need this in the middle of Jay's entrance. Like,
there was a dude dressed up as Dude Wipes.
I saw
in the audience, annoying people.
Yeah, like it reminds me of how people always meme on Jeff Keighley for the video game awards, where it's like, I love this game, but you know what I love more? Like
the Muppets.
Yeah, but yeah, or it's like whatever website. It's like, oh, all right, or like that one time he's like, oh, you like Final Fantasy? The car guy's like, well, no, not that. You can get with this game subscription. Like, Man,
Yeah.
the ads
Or
are
wasn't it like it was like some like Grubhub ad and the
Yes.
code was like Final Fantasy or
was,
something
yeah.
like that, yeah.
and this show just reminded me of, man, we are in the TKO era of like there's so many fucking sponsorships here and ads, and I get it, but it's just like it's being hit
To
over
be honest,
the head.
the
like,
ones in the ring I don't really notice as much.
yeah, I've come accustomed to it. I still wish they weren't there, but I completely get it. I'll take those over the constant, just like, you know how, like, at one point they went to Xfinity and, like, the stage lit up purple. They're like, you've never seen WrestleMania like this because you were watching with Xfinity. It's like, oh my, like,
Yeah.
I'm not watching with Xfinity. It doesn't matter to me. Like, I said, like, it's just like, yeah, there's just certain things, but I get it. But it's just, this one felt the most egregious. It just felt the most like, we got WrestleMania, TKO. We're going to just fucking hit you with as much ads as possible. That definitely took a little bit down for me, because I get you gotta get paid, but also just take some of that magic of when you're just getting broken up with some of the.
I would rather the on the ring stuff than like last year with this match is sponsored by Snoop Dogg's gin and juice going around the outside of it. This match
There was that like in the
third
main
match-
event, the tag one, the home shield, where it was just like a white background. It was just like blaring. I noticed that the barricade stuff was usually just like black background and just like the logo of whatever company was sponsoring it.
Yeah, that's fine. But the constant interruptions with that was just, it was a little bit over the top for me.
And I got nothing to add here. I've shared in the Discord. I'm just bringing up this fucking clip of Bret Hart because, man, this is the best shit ever. He's shaking Triple H's hand and then he gives that look like he wants nothing to do with him. Like
this guy.
like, it's
This
just,
fucking guy.
it's just so funny because, like, I don't know. As opposed to, there's been so many times like when Triple H and Undertaker had their Hell in the Cell like end of era and everyone praised it. Bret was like, "Yeah, it's nothing that special, nothing I haven't seen." Like, like he fucking hates Triple H. It's just like, oh man, I love Bret Hart so much. Like, this guy went out of his way to make you the first ever 3-time Hall of Famer, and you got the balls to be like, whatever, dude. Like, I should have said more to it, but fuck, I love Bret Hart, man. But yeah.
Before we get out of here, I do have a question for you guys. It's actually a listener submitted question, and thinking about the CM Punk match and the intro to the CM Punk match, just how incredible it was with that promo package that they had in the mix of it all. Chris Balka from the Marvel Alliance podcast asked a question, and his question for us is, what is our favorite WrestleMania promo? His is the WrestleMania X7, The Rock and Stone Cold, the My Way promo, everyone's favorite. But what is you guys' favorite promo? And if you need a moment to think, I will go ahead and tell you one of mine, since the My Way's already been said. I'm going to go with the Daniel Bryan Monster promo from WrestleMania 30. The whole build behind the Yes movement and everything else with that, him going against the Authority, like that had me completely fired up. An honorable mention I would give to that is Undertaker with the Johnny Cash Ain't No Grave.
Oh,
when he made his return.
I forgot about that one. No, it was so weird too. And he returned on Raw. He used that as a theme one time, and then they dropped it. I wish they kept the Johnny Cash Ain't No Grave theme song of Undertaker in that run. It was so good. That was like chills. But
stabbing the contract signing with the pin. Yeah, that Ain't No Grave was good. But man, that Daniel Bryan Monster going into WrestleMania 30, everyone behind him, that build up to that, it still gives me chills thinking back on that.
My top three, because they've been mentioned. Number one's My Way. Number two is Monster. The number three is Shawn Michaels Undertaker running up that hill for WrestleMania 26. It's just like a whole montage of Shawn Michaels being obsessed with the Undertaker and screwing him over. But it's a creepy version of running up that hill, and it is really, really good. There's tons of others, but yeah, those be my top three. That one's just. It's just, I remember watching it at that point. I was younger, just being, man, this is a work of art, this promo package. So, yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say the My Way one, obviously. But another one I really like is from last year, the Cody Roman Night 2 main event video package. I really like. It's also an Imagine Dragon song, but it's like...
right, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and it shows, it's like the whole Cody story, like it shows him walking out, it has pictures of him with the Bucks and
the
Kenny
Young
and
Bucks and
Jericho.
I
yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, he's like, he started a revolution, and then it's like, the whole thing is like, it's like no matter the outcome, the story ends tonight. That's
Yeah.
the ending of it. And
Two
it shows,
other-
yeah, like The Rock. It's like it shows like the beating him up in the rain. It's like the Mama Rhodes thing.
Yeah.
And
right.
yeah, it's a really great one. I've rewatched that one a ton of times.
I can't remember the band, but two other ones that they did too was there's the Rock WrestleMania 29 promo, or sorry, Rock and Cena WrestleMania 29 promo. Oh, it's from Civil Twilight. They also did one for, speaking of the Man a second ago, the Vince McMahon Bret Hart one is actually really good. Just because you had like the match, I was there live. Fucking awful. Top 10 worst WrestleMania matches ever. It's just Vince getting beat on with a chair for 10 minutes, and kudos to him. Which I remember back then, they're like, the word is Vince is really hurt. Like the rumor was like really laid it into him, but Vince didn't say anything. But like the rumor was there was like an after party, and they're like Vince didn't even show up. He was supposed to be like really banged up. But both were done by Civil Twilight. But like the Rock and Cena one's great because they're like they show him lose to the Rock, they show him lose to John Laurinaitis. They have like oh, John Cena's getting divorced. They show like everything.
I just heard about that one.
Yeah, but it's the music and the editing is like really, really good. But yeah, no, there's some great stuff out there. So
Oh, another good one before I forget. Even though the match was pure shit, the intro to the Miz versus John Cena,
Oh
where
my
the Miz
God.
is sitting
You can
there in
hate
front of
me
the
now.
TVs.
Yeah, oh,
Yes,
yeah.
and it's got like the whole build up of
I mean,
where
it's
he
the thing.
came
Like
from.
WWE makes
I was
these,
like,
these amazing
damn.
video packages for any feud.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying on the Discord. Like I've said this many times since we started the gimmick. That's why I want AEW. They need to go hire somebody because you can make the worst feud or most boring feud look like the most epic match. And AEW does not do that. They have a few packages they've done in their 5 years that are, I'd say, great or very good. But on that, like the next time Swerve and Hangman should wrestle, that should be, I'm not saying get my way, but that should be their my way. But I guarantee it's going to be some 30-second, oh, the blood feuds, there it is. And there they go. They just show a bunch of clips. It's like, I'm coming for you. And Swerve being like, Swerve's house. And then it's like, they show the graphic and that's it. It's like, what? Like, they're always like 45 seconds. It's like you guys have 16-hour pay-per-views, but these that's why probably because the video package they're like, oh, we can't have those be long, but you guys go have a 47-minute match for fucking the TNT championship. But
You can cut off half of any Cope match and just give me video packages instead, and I will be okay with that.
don't hurt my boy Cope. He's having a tough month. He got stretchered out. He got fucking pile drive. Leave him alone. But
Well, maybe he should be wrestling for 45 minutes and he'd last long.
yeah, that's true. Give him the Jade Cargill. He's Goldberg, but we'll end it there because I know it's late for these gentlemen. But yeah, a variation of us will be back tomorrow. We'll be reviewing everything. Obviously, we got the two big ones with the women's triple threat, and then we got Rock and Cena, which should be, or sorry, Cena and Cody.
Cena.
I was talking about Rock and thrice in a lifetime. But
We're not reviewing night 2. We're actually doing a retro.
Retro 29, yeah, not even 28, 29, which
Retro review.
other than CM Punk and Taker. Shit WrestleMania, but
the one of the
You wanna
times
talk
that Punk should have
Del
main
Rio
evented.
versus Swagger
Yes.
on WrestleMania.
yeah, Burrow Swagger, Ryback and Mark Henry, Triple H and Brock, and just like I won't say a snooze fest, but like close enough where Triple H just had to go over Brock.
Cody
God,
getting his match cut because of the whole proposal.
Right, that was that WrestleMania.
Yeah, Team Hell No versus
Ziggler and Big E,
yeah,
right?
Ziggler and Big E.
That led to Ziggler cashing in the next day. God, is there anything else on that I'm forgetting? Obviously, Punk and Taker was legendary, and Cena and Rock. I feel like there's something else.
I'm gonna look.
Oh,
at the
wasn't
card.
that
There's
the
probably something-
intro
there's
to
probably something
Fandango,
bad.
where and then the next day he
beat Chris
charted?
Jericho.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
And you have Wade Barrett versus The Miz, where I
What?
think
That's a
yeah.
pre-show match, isn't
Oh,
it?
I think it might be, yeah.
Okay.
But I think the thing is like, it's like Wade Barrett wins it off the Miz like a week before, then Miz wins
Yes.
it, and then
Yeah.
like on the Raw after Mania,
Yep.
he just wins it
He
back.
wins it back. Yeah. fucking.
But yeah,
yeah,
that's
things
also
are-
you're forgetting. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
forgetting the Jericho and Fandango.
Yeah. Oh, for good reason. But yeah, we will be back tomorrow. Not talking about WrestleMania 29, WrestleMania 41 Part 2 should be a good show. Thank you everyone that tuned in. Subscribe to the feeds, and we promise to hear from us tomorrow and not be boring.
Bye.